Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound, everybody get down. Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound, everybody get down when we give it to you. Around with the rhythm, it's a sound, the rhythm, it's a sound, with the rhythm, it's a sound, the rhythm, it's a sound. Get down, come on, get down. Get down, come on, get down. Get down, come on, get down.
All the memories we made under the summer sun, chasing after waves, the taste of berries on my tongue, sipping on a feeling, sunny's got me healing, vibing out to your guitar. I don't wanna go yet, watch another sunset, wishing on a shooting star. Ooh, I know that it has to end. Ooh, maybe we could just pretend. Ooh, I know that it has to end. Ooh, maybe we could just pretend. Just pretend. I know that it has to end. Ooh, maybe we could just pretend. Ooh, I know that it has to end. Maybe we could just pretend.
Don't stop the party, don't stop the rave. Can't feel my body, but don't stop the rave. Don't stop the party, don't stop the rave. Can't feel my body, but don't stop the rave. Rave, 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 rave. Now everybody from the front to the back go. Now everybody from the front to the back, go, 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 now everybody from the front to the back go. Don't stop the party. Don't stop the rave. 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 Can't feel my body, but don't stop the rave. Don't stop the party. Don't stop the rave. Can't feel my body, but don't stop the rave. Now everybody from the front to the back go. Now everybody from the front to the back go, 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 go. body, but don't stop the rave. Don't stop the party, don't stop the rave. Can't feel my body, but don't stop the rave.
This for the players out there, check out this dope shit, man.
Players another down, we getting paid. Another day, another dollar living in the bay. Hustle for my baby, trying to play in my escape. I ain't staying in the matrix, really trying to get my papers.
This for the players.
Players another down, we getting paid. Another day, another dollar living in the bay. Hustle for my baby, trying to play in my escape. I ain't staying in the matrix, really trying to get my papers.
Welcome CSGO fanatics far and wide back to the Arena Esports tournament powered by Etisalat and AD Gaming as our strategic partner. We're heading into our monthly finals today. We've gone through the Invitational number 1. We've been through the Open qualifier as well. Now 2 teams looking to qualify for playoffs here and now. My name is Seymour. Alongside with me is Time to Light. DTL, it's early in the morning for you and I. How you feeling today?
I'm excited. I'm a little tired. I'm going to be honest with you. It's still like 10 a.m. I still haven't gotten my morning coffee, but by the time this first game ends, I guarantee you everybody will be rearing and ready to go for the rest of this series. It's going to be a massive series for both these teams. You said it, qualifying for playoffs. You don't make it, you have to go through either another monthly invitational or another open qualifier just to then make it to the monthly qualifier, just to then have another opportunity. Not a 50-50 shot, but about there for another shot at the playoffs, just to try and make it to grand finals, just to try and be on LAN. It is a whole series. It is a gauntlet to run, and it is one these two teams, I believe, are ready for today.
You hope to believe after going through the Open qualifier, I feel like a team is going to be ready for anything. But you're right. I mean, at least you can feel that if you lose here and now, it's not the end of the road for you. You still have 3 other, invitational and open qualifiers and monthly finals to go to. So you're not only going to have a second chance, but you have a third chance and fourth chance to make it into that. And overall, when we're looking at the tournament roadmap, all in all, I'm sure we'll take a look at it in the graphic for those here who want to talk about it and discuss it right on. We're in the monthly finals, qualifier 1. Then 4 teams out of these monthly finals are going to head into the playoffs after those 4 invitationals that we do have over the course of the next couple of months. And out of the playoffs, you got 2 teams heading into the grand finals out of those 4, as one will be crowned champion. And it's important to talk about, Time to Light, that grand finals is going to be on LAN. So a lot of these players, it's kind of the story I've been spinning up for these Arena Esports tournaments. A lot of these players will be playing possibly a LAN for the first time, and that is such a big thing to think about for a lot of these competitors.
Yeah, and a lot of times you see more minor LANs pop up here and there, more local things for a lot of different events, whether it's in North America, sometimes in the Middle East, like in Dubai, or occasionally in India. But not as much, not as big as this one. You're fighting for a fairly large amount of money, and you're still fighting for a fairly large amount of money in each monthly qualifier and each invitational or open qualifier as well. We're seeing this throughout multiple games here in Arena Esports, whether it's Dota 2, whether it is PUBG Mobile, like we'll see in a couple days as well. This is a very important qualifier. You make this, you have to worry significantly less down the line, and you can at least practice elsewhere till January. If you don't, you then have to repeat your attempt at said gauntlet and just rinse and repeat your attempt back in.
Just keep doing it until you get that right at one time. Yeah, we'll take a look at the prize pool very soon as well, which is important to know for all of these teams. Just a little bit of something to play for across these monthly finals. But we got 2 teams to talk about today. One you and I got to cast earlier on inside of the Invitational. One that you and I haven't seen just yet. The team that we did see in the past who eased their way into the monthly finals fairly simply is RGW Esports, where we saw Osmus, Joker, Nako, Vita, and Dodds playing up against... I can't remember exactly what team it was, but they have a new competitor. It's Easy Money Snipers that they're going to be going up against today, coming out of the open bracket to see if they can upset this invitational team and show exactly what they're made of. So it's going to be a fun one to see for us to learn a brand new team for Easy
between the winner and the loser here. 3rd and 4th place is either split between our monthly qualifier runner, or our invitational qualifier runner-up, and our open qualifier runner-up, or vice versa. Exact numbers, and especially considering it's $150 in Arena Esports points to both those 2 teams at the bottom. You can see it says $950 in cash. That $950 is split between 1st and 2nd place. 650 plus 300 is $950, and then at the bottom, the 150 plus the 100 is the $250 worth of Arena Esports points. Here is that tournament roadmap you were talking about, and here's the gauntlet. Now, we are in the first instance of this gauntlet, the October monthly qualifier. We still have October, November, December, and January, then playoffs, then grand finals, or it's September, and then October, then November, then December. Anyway, we're in instance number 1. There's still 4 repeats of this, and there's still 4 teams we have to send to the playoffs. Today is only one of them.
Only one of them. And, RGW, who looked good, has a fantastic chance of just breezing through the Invitational into the playoffs here and now. But at the same time, we do know when we look at, other tournaments here in Arena Esports like PUBG or Free Fire, how many teams are playing through those open qualifiers. I don't know how many teams we had in our open qualifiers going through CSGO, but only having 2 teams in the monthly finals gives you a really easy chance now for this playoffs. It's 1 best of 3, and you're in the playoffs. Not only just a little bit of chunk of change to get the end of this game, but you're into the playoffs where only 4 other teams will meet you. And over the course of the next couple of months, you can see we got the 3 other invitationals where 2 teams will be invited over several months, and then those open qualifiers yet again, those monthly qualifiers. It's going to be a long time. Like you said, I mean, I think Gauntlet is the best way to talk about this for sure, to get to the grand finals, because if you're not making it into the playoffs right out of these monthly qualifiers in qualifier 1 or 2, you have to stay consistent to keep trying over and over again, TTL. And that not only is going to be a little bit tedious, but it's not easy to just get up, play 1 best of 3, and stay consistent every single month.
Yeah, it's also a challenge for a lot of these open qualifier teams. You are running through a very taxing qualifier gauntlet that I believe is either run the last couple days or was run last weekend. So it allows you some time to then breathe, but you've lost your warm-up. You've lost your advantage moving into the monthly qualifier. And this is just a singular best of 3. 1 best of 3 determines whether you play for playoffs and a very large clump of money, or whether you get to rinse and repeat, take $300 home. This is all in US, by the way. And then just hopefully run home and hope it all repeats benefitly in your favor. We'll take a look at today's matchup. You talked about our first team, RGW. They looked good a couple weeks ago. They will take on Easy Money Snipers from our open qualifier. I gotta say, I like the detail on the scope and their logo. Looks pretty cool.
Easy Money in the Snipers. You see kind of how it gets put on right there. RGW, though, I feel like is a team that we have to mention going into this as a possible favorite out of the Invitational, not only because they came out of the Invitational TTL, but when we were watching them, they made it look fairly simple. I'm pretty sure we were playing on an overpass too when we were watching them, so if we get to go back to that repeat map for today, overpass might be a little bit difficult for Easy Money Snipers to go through, but we're looking at our map Fitos. Ancient map 1, Anubis map 2. What is going on with this one? And an overpass decider to finish it off. This is a crazy best of 3 already.
There's a charged map pool, a AA to start things off, an overpass to kick things away, should it be even required. A brief reminder, if I recall correctly, back in the Invitational Qualifier, Anubis was not won by RGW. That or they won it to send it to a map 3. I was not here for the 3rd map, but I'm like 95% sure that RGW want to do this. So this could be a problem down the line for Easy Money Snipers. Actually, now that I think about it, I have the VOD open on my other screen. Give me just a second. RGW did not win Anubis. They had a lead. They had a very good chance of winning it, and then kind of threw it away in the later stages. So keep an eye on that. RGW does not have the greatest of T-sides in Anubis. This is MR12, so we only play 24 rounds in regulation. They don't have as much time to recover what they need, and they needed a lot more time back against 15 average gang. Hopefully they recover better here, because they will start in the CT side, like they did there, but they just didn't recover anywhere past that.
No. And you have to be thinking, too, when we last saw RGW is when CS2 first came out, and we were highlighting heavily into that, some of these players might have not had a chance to play through the beta, didn't have access to it, and may have just been playing CS2 for possibly only like 5 days leading into that best of 3 that we did see in the Invitationals. So now that we're a little bit farther into CS2, a lot of teams are probably going to have that chance to work out the kinks and the changes that did happen, albeit very minute changes. With a game like Counter-Strike, those minute changes went a long way, and a lot of fundamentals had to be relearned for some of these teams. So with RGW, you look at this team to hopefully go over those mistakes that they had versus 15 average gang, change those mistakes, fix them, and talk about what might have gone wrong. And for Easy Money Snipers on the opposite side, TTL, you already have a VOD to go over. You know exactly what RGW did and what they might be looking to do. So Easy Money Snipers, albeit we haven't seen them, but that might be a little bit of an advantage going into this.
And we haven't seen him. That also means that RGW hasn't seen him. That's an important aspect. That is also your benefit coming out of Open. You don't have a full best of 3 aired out for the public to see and on a YouTube live feed that will be there for eternity, or until Arena Esports decides to delete it down the line when they start to maybe upgrade some tournaments. Shout out Arena Esports for continually bringing bigger and bigger events to the point where this is just the very start of what is a massive event. Remember, we've only had one invitational qualifier. This is our first monthly qualifier. We haven't even streamed the open qualifiers, and we know how many matches have been played there. Or we don't. That's how massive it is.
Yeah.
But RGW, starting off on Ancient. I want to get your takes on this. Ancient Map 1, they did not play Ancient back in that monthly, or back in the invitational qualifier. They were the ones who chose Mirage, and they won it. And yet they ban it here against Easy Money Snipers. What's your thoughts on them winning and then immediately banning a map that they look so good on?
They might not be feeling comfortable, you know, albeit they did win. Maybe it's just, you know, going over scrims in the past couple of weeks. Things change, and, you know, teams might not be syncing on a map like they did, you know, days ago or even yesterday. And so going into today, Mirage just might not be what they're feeling. And whenever I look at a map pool that has Ancient and Anubis, map number 1 and 2, you have to be getting to think that this is planned. This is where they want to go. Obviously, they're going to be strategizing to go towards these maps. These aren't just your simple picks, like going to an Inferno. Everybody knows how to play Inferno, or everybody knows how to play Mirage. Not everybody's going to know how to play Ancient or Anubis. So going to these maps early on goes to show that something is up these teams' sleeves, and they're hoping to find that advantage early on to hopefully go for a 2-0 or go into Overpass knowing that you're going to take your map pick and it won't be, you know, anything other than that. So it just, I do like going to Ancient and Anubis, although at the same time, because it's not really a map that is most notably known by a lot of these teams, and it would be more strategic than not, you have to think that, you know, a team that hasn't really been shown in a best of 3 or doesn't have any VOD on them still might have the edge going into the series because of that unknowingness, because you don't know what they're going to bring to this one. So albeit it might be a little bit difficult to start going into this series, I do like having these maps because it leaves more of a surprise factor.
Yeah, and especially moving into Ancient, and I think Anubis is that second. RGW may be just playing catch-up on that second map. And the other important conversation, you brought it up earlier, is CS2 is a little bit of a different game now. When we played inside of the Invitational Qualifier, it was October 4th. It was the morning, at least in America, of October 4th. That means the update for the day, if there was one, which, spoiler alert, there was, had not come out yet. Since then, by the way, we've had updates come out on October 4th, 6th, 9th, 10th, 12th, 13th, and I believe there's one scheduled to come out tomorrow, the 15th. So this is a massively different game than what has started. We have Michael Jackson peaks to the point where that's the Counter-Strike Twitter's banner. It is hilarious, by the way. What?
I think they patched it yesterday.
That's such a
And
shame.
now it's, from what I see, is like the Shakira peak now, and it's just your feet stay.
Oh yeah, the
but
hips don't lie.
The hips don't lie. So it's gotten even funnier than the Michael Jackson peak.
I mean, that's something that we see in a lot of games, though. We see Valorant players that hips don't lie playing KO or something like that. But, I mean, you're looking at a lot of these that are basically focused more on the player models. Some of them are based around information gathering, like for observers or spectators. And a lot of them are just general animation and miscellaneous fixes, but some of them are specifically to the maps. For instance, Mirage, Vertigo, and Nuke had many bugs fixed where you could like clip through walls, find general exploits. Brief reminder, we don't have the advantage of nobody watching our games, so nobody's going to be getting exploits for free. If you do run into exploits, you will either lose the round or you could be disqualified from the game. Don't do that in official play. Do it in your premier matches where you're safe. But don't do it against me because I'd get really upset.
in our premier matches, don't bring out those exploits, or it'll make us angry for sure. If there's one thing that I can always look forward to when it comes to CS2 is how much this game has evolved for sure. I mean, even like on a Mirage, they finally patched the triple box jump, haven't they? And like, how long has that been a thing? Like that,
Literally
I feel
forever.
like that's been a thing for so long. It just seemed like it was a key. It seemed like it was meant to be on purpose, like for how long it's been there. So when they changed it, even I was like, I forgot that wasn't supposed to be there. I forgot that was actually a bug and that wasn't supposed to be there. So it's just, it's fun to see how much CS is changing over over the past couple of days, even that you mentioned these patches. And even when we reach our grand final or championship on LAN, we could still be playing a new game.
I think by the time we get to LAN, all the general bugs and bug fixes will come out because of how many patch notes have come out since the game did. The game was released on September 27th. That is about 3 weeks ago, give or take 2 days. Since then, I think we've had up to 12 different patches come through, fixing the game, changing things about the game, making things look prettier, making pretty things look a little bit more optimized. You get the general idea. The fact that Counter-Strike, as a team, shout out the Valve squad, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Is bringing so many different changes. I understand a lot of people were really excited to see Counter-Strike early. It did release not in the summer of 2023. It released like 4 days into the fall. But the fact that everybody was kind of pushing for the game to come out, I felt they were a little rushed. I think it could have waited a month. It would have been nice. But the fact that it is out, we are playing on it, and it is still completely changed from basically when the game originally came out as a full release, is my favorite part of the game. It will continue to change, which is good or bad depending on how you look at it. I think it's a nice happy medium. It's being fixed, but it's not the same as you were playing a week and a half ago, and you have to worry about that if you're playing in a series like this.
Yeah, and I don't mind that it came out early either. I feel like having a general populace playing your game and you being able to realize what's wrong and what you need to fix across that general populace, rather than, you know, just having it be a private sanctioned, you know, events where maybe some bugs are going to be found and maybe they won't be found, and then you're going to have to fix it way down the line. Everything's just laid out right here and now, and it being fixed right now is going to be so much quicker than fixing it way down the line. So it's fun to play, it's fun to see it change, and I look forward to seeing it change, you know, over the course of the next year, maybe even years. The only big question is, did they fix the missing pixel on Mirage, or is it still missing?
Where's the missing pixel?
The one in apps.
I think it's fixed. I mean, they addressed there were various bug fixes on Mirage. We'll see if that happens to be the case if we see Mirage back in our next invitational qualifier. But for now, our first map is Ancient on the day, and it already starts off with RGW on the CT side, interestingly enough, but with Chaos already in the first little bit. I believe the sides are switched. RGW is on the T side, and oh, they've just narrowly lost this pistol. Yes, RGW is T side, T side's right side of your screen. There we go.
That was exhilarating to start things off. Rarely do I see a pistol where it's just 5 members meeting in mid, shaking hands and saying, all right, who's got the better shot? But yeah, right there, RGW proved to be the better shot to start it off. Or no, easy money snipers are going to be the ones, as it's realized on screen, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Representing them. So RGW on the T side now going to force up a couple deagles, but have to worry about not giving up some extra cash to these SMGs.
Realize already the opener as well. This is not a round that should be won for RGW. This is not a situation they have an advantage in. They're playing up against MP9s, a FAMAS, and an M4 with just pistols. If they get kills, it is nice. If they don't, it is not surprising. There's one from Isaac King, who I believe is a new addition to the RGW roster, at least since the last time we saw them. But this is not a great situation for them. You're looking at a round where you wanted a bomb plant, you don't find one, you wanted to do economic damage, you can't do it. Your last remaining player is walking around CT spawn with just a Glock. I've seen miracles. This is not going to be one of them.
No, I've seen crazy things, but yeah, this does not seem like it's on the table. And as expected, too, I would say, this doesn't really surprise me. Second rounds, more often than not, will look like this, so this is just easy money snipers with a fantastic start to Ancient, something that if you're looking for an upset today, this is the best possible start for that upset because this is RGW's map pick coming out of the Invitational. They got to pick first, so Easy Money Snipers starting off on a front foot is going to lead to a very competitive series, I feel.
You know, I may be in the minority here, but a lot of teams actually decide to choose to pick second, because that also means you get to choose between the decider and whatever the last ban is. That's my preference, because yeah, sure, starting off with a 1-0 lead's nice, but being able to basically pick 2 separate maps, I think is better argument enough. RGW, you're going to try and send this one now. They're wasting absolutely no time getting in. The B site has been stolen, but however, they do not have Cave's control. They don't have the information there either. They do, however, smoke it off, but that smoke leaves a lot to be desired on the outside. Unfortunately, a lot of sound cues given over there.
Smoke for Cave, smoke for CT, but it looks like Shiva just wants to walk right through with the M4. Mike's going to find one with the MP9, but the M4s are proving not to be very effective until Realize makes it possible. 2 kills from Self, leaves this 2-2 versus 2. Pushing out of Cave's going to be a Remind. Last one standing for RGW to finally put a round on. It's planted for the T side. And he is going to be able to walk through this smoke. No kits for Easy Money Snipers. They have to stick it out. No, the kit's going to be there for Reminds, and Realize just had to sit there and wait. So RGW lose their rifle round and lose a vast majority of their rifles too.
And that's a questionable decision for RGW. Why not just send it straight through that smoke? Why not throw the Molotov a little bit later and save it for when you know somebody's tapping? Throwing it during that smoke pluming doesn't gain you anything. In RGW, that's another round where you leave a lot to be desired. Something could have been better. The benefit is you get a bomb plant, and you now have max loss bonus, so you're going to have enough to buy AK's armor should it go. But the problem is you're walking onto a site that is going to be fairly well defended. And they can just disengage with these. Nice flash. Not a dang thing can be seen by B1 except for the sun in their eyes. The bomb, however, has been left in B main. Look at the map. It has to be recovered. This is going to take time. That means Easy Money Snipers are going to allow themselves to start to develop this retake before the bomb's even planted.
And last time this retake developed off of Mike with an M10P9. This time Mike has an M4 A4, so could be even harder to face up against. Remind starting to work this flank with an AK. Realize going to double down. Nice heads-up play to clear out Caves, and Saucier is going to take down Mike. So down to 1 member remaining for Easy Money Snipers. RGW, all they could do is now set up over towards the CT side, force Remind out towards the open, and make this retake even more difficult. So Remind's gonna get found out. Vito with a beautiful shot on the shoulder peak, and finally RGW, they put an end to the rampage that Easy Money Snipers were going on.
This may be something that is undervalued, but that kill is massive. The fact that there's no extra room that Remind can take, they can't deny anybody getting out safely. 3 players stay alive for RGW, and they win the round mostly handedly, means not only will they start to build an economy, because the general rule of thumb, 3 players or more alive, you build an economy, 2 players or less, you start to have it dwindle. In this case, not only do they start to build that economy, they win the round, they have everybody get out, and it's a confidence-building round. They win a lot of trade gunfights, they win a lot of 1v1 gunfights, and they already have the B site in their control, wasting no time getting on, the A site in their control. And more importantly, Donut isn't there. Remind is there, and Remind is dead. Goodbye.
Dead, not anymore. Remind gets cleared so quickly, but Realize has an AWP. And it's gonna find a kill with that as well. Gonna have to re-clear mid now that Mizu's gonna make himself known, and B1 only with a deagle is gonna have to hit some pretty nutty shots for this retake. AK is going to be picked up, and I'm sure they would have heard that. So this has to be a save for Easy Money Snipers just to take this AWP over. But is B1 going to be able to? It looks like they're going to re-clear it. 2 players with the swing. This fight is the first one around the corner. B1's going to take him down. Low health on Saucier. And I thought that B1 might have been able to take both rifles out of the hand of Easy Money, or of RGW. The op will stay, but only 1 AK.
Wow. That's a massive double kill. Easy Money Snipers, yes, they keep the sniper, sure. But the difficult position for them at this point, RGW still end up winning the round and will still be able to buy. Everybody has an AK, everybody has armor, and they all have utility. It is 4 pieces of utility for the entirety of RGW. This is a hero op with very little help. A deagle, a 5.7 with armor, and a P250. That is it for Easy Money Snipers. I mean, they're stacking the right site. This is the correct decision. But what do they walk away with? That's the real question. How does this develop for the CT side?
Do you hit your shots? Do you pass go, collect
I don't.
$200?
They may.
Neither do I. It's okay. Mike gonna be in a deep corner, so Joker's gonna have to clear this all the way through if they want to head on to B. And noise gonna be made. Molly, Mike, not gonna get spread onto Mike, so they don't know he's gonna be there. Mine's gonna find the kill, swings out over towards Dodd, sprays down both of them. Dodd's gonna at least be able to keep things quite comfortable for RGW. But now here comes the rest for B1. He's gonna swing into Mizu, leaving 2 last alive. Flank already being worked by Vita. Easy money snipers, they are trapped, and albeit your shots might be nice with the pistols, but it's not easy to work your way onto site like this.
You know, this round is a positive return on investment for Easy Money Snipers, assuming they don't lose their op. I actually like this decision. They've taken a long time on the RGW side to plant that bomb. This is going to develop the pincer onto the op. You have one player walking into A main, you have one player walking out red towards mid, and they're going to swarm this op that currently sits on the site. They have no idea that A main's currently occupied. He has no clue. I think he's just looking for the flare. He has absolutely no idea, and he actually turns at the right time, but Susuri will end up walking away with the kill. Regardless, 3-3 as it stands. And a quick tech pause after we're tied up. Apparently, at least right now, it seems like Easy Money Snipers want to try and take a timeout, whether it's tech or tac. Either way, they need something to recover.
Caught me slipping. I was leaning back in my chair for a quick moment. I hope you guys have been enjoying at home, because Easy Money Snipers, they've come to play. I will say, TTL, albeit this is a 3-3 game, they have been doing everything correct. And I think that is really exciting to see from a team coming out of that open bracket. RGW, they were most likely the favorite teams going into this one, but Easy Money Snipers are getting a run for their money.
Or run for the money, period. It's a $350 difference between winning and losing today. Plus, however much money you make from the playoffs, depending on how that will go. I like this decision. This is a weird bit of coordination that you're going to see from RGW.
Mizu might want to walk through the smoke.
Yeah, what they do is they clear the smoke, thinking that it will.
Timing gonna work out perfectly for Mizu. Watching on the flank is gonna be a heads up awareness to make sure that you cross your T's, you dot your I's. But now the smoke's gonna be dropped down over towards CT. Mizu's gonna pop out on the opposite end. Full team rotating over in towards A. Inside Donut. One player's gonna be there. It's realized to be run over by Joker. And smoke should allow for this plant to go down. You lose out Mizu, but you take the site.
Post-point scenario. And one that I don't think Easy Money Snipers, they're going to save for.
Smart.
I'm not going to lie. I like this decision from them. Not a bad call. But the fact that they just give up mid about as easily as they did, they just hand over that A side. They had difficulties holding it from the start. And more importantly, they just couldn't find a level of sustainability. Easy Money Snipers, at this juncture of the round, at this juncture of the map, cannot afford to give away that as much. This is not a situation where we're playing to 15 rounds in the first half. You've lost 3 of those. You're playing to a 6-6, maybe a 7-5. If you feel like it's Valorant, me too, it'll take some getting used to. But it's a weird spot, and especially when you have some difficulties on the CT side really developing yourself.
Yeah, and especially like considering you brought up the great point is that you don't have as much room to make mistakes now with CS2. You kind of have to be fighting tooth and nail early on to at least find, or at least combat for a 6-6 half at the worst. 7-5. Definitely going to be a possibility for either of these teams still, but for RGW Esports, they take their lead for the first time on Ancient. Their map pick. Starting with the T side, they had a little bit of a bumpy road to get ready, but now that they're here and playing at their top level for their map pick, you can start to see the way that they play is definitely quite troublesome, especially if Mizu is just going to continue to walk through smokes with no extra utility to back him up. That's going to be sneaky plays to watch out for.
Importantly enough, it doesn't seem like Easy Money Snipers are all that ready for it. Nice smoke, getting in, good flash, I believe lands in the back corner, but it is a bait setup, like even one. They'll readjust from the CT side for a second, but overall it goes 2 for 3. Easy Money Snipers on the front side, and they have a flank. There's no way that RGW are going to be at all aware of this. This round is over. It is a foregone conclusion. question is, how does it end? The answer with Realize's nade and M4 through the smoke. Nice little combo, to say the very least. And RGW, they lose that lead.
Such good reaction from Easy Money Snipers to kind of recognize how quickly RGW have been playing throughout this game, and instead of waiting to rotate and reinforce those sites, they do it immediately. And not only that, to, I guess, recreate their B site hold, they play a little bit deeper over towards that to play counter towards that flash, and they wait for the aggression to come out. Mizu get blindsided, and a 2-for-3 trade definitely puts RGW on the back end. But now 4-4 we go, and Sasori opens up with the Galil through mid. So nice shots coming out from this forced weapon.
I like the decision to make that commitment. I'm a fan of it. Make the commitment even if you have limited utility, especially because you're also bringing the op into this round. This is still a more than feasible situation, especially for a team of the caliber of RGW. And you can see what their decision is. Just, again, play around your utility, smoke things off, and slow things down.
Yeah.
I like this call for them, but as of right now, it doesn't seem like they have as much space as they may think. Actually, yes, they do. There's not a soul on B. Where is Easy Money Snipers? What the heck?
They figured it was going to be an A hit. They re-cleared mid. The smoke goes down. They made sure that nobody was going to try to push in towards their spawn. And there is a lurk player over towards A who's probably selling this whole thing. But now the jig is up. Everybody's racing to, I guess, recover this round. And a push into Catwalk is going to be looking to start this retake. And lurk over towards A, working through the spawn to flank on the flanking players. Nobody's able to look into this just yet for Easy Money Snipers. And a slow play from Mizu to put the nail in the coffin. Joker's going to take down Realize. Mizu's still working on this flank. All left to B1, sitting inside of Caves with the M4, A4 in hand. Now he needs to try to keep it in towards the next, but they're hunting him down. They're not going to let him go without a fight, and Fight is going to take it out of his hands and rip them back into the lead.
To be real, I don't know how I feel about that round from RGW. It was a very good setup from the start. They had a good bit of lurk presence over towards the A side. The fake worked. They take B control properly. After that, it becomes a little questionable. The flank itself took a little bit longer to develop than I would have liked. Again, you have to walk. You can't make noise or else you're detected and you lose the round. But the fact that in that 1v4, 1v3, you continually give away 1v1 gunfights that are not guaranteed to go your way, that's the real concern for me from the, at least, spectator point of view. Nade in towards mid. It's Remind getting aggressive with an MP9 in hand. There's a lot of SMGs in this round. There's a 5-7, surprisingly enough, here for Mike. This is an odd buy for, honestly, both teams.
Mike is flashed. No noise made, but the re-clear from Vita flash back in. And Mike is going to get beheaded by that AK. And nothing was spotted deep, it doesn't seem like, but you should know with that extra utility that there is going to be more members here from Easy Money Snipers. Vita's going to remove the first one, Remind, but there is still a member deep towards the back site. And the rotation is already here. 3 versus 3. This is going to be a backyard brawl with Realize and an M4A1S. Starting to work this flank. Joker has an idea that this might be a possibility, but he doesn't know exactly where Realize is, so just biding their time at the moment, TTL, and waiting for Realize to possibly catch some timing here.
Oh, no.
There it is.
Realize does find the timing. That's the bomb as well. That is a certainty that the B site is the finish, but where is the real question?
Oh, no.
A follow-up maybe from CT. They've slipped the gap, though, and oh my goodness, Dodds has taken CT control. They know where the last player is. They don't know exactly where Realize is headed. Bomb will be planted. Soundcue should be there. They should know that he's walking around through main, and now they do. And at this point, look at where Vita's gone towards. Just playing behind the pillar. No reason to swing right now. Bait out your teammate who has been seen already. There's absolutely no information for Realize to play off of. He will have absolutely no clue. You're just waiting to try this, but you take too long to swing. Ever so close for the clutch of Realize, but ever so far just the same as a 4K from Vita and RGW's 6th round of the half.
I will say, you know, for Realize, TTL, I don't think there's any better way you could have played that unless you hit that first shot when you did swing. You just kind of had to play for the hero snap back to that second player and go deep for that one. So RGW, they guarantee themselves a 6-6 half. Vita's going to set up for the top mid smoke, so it does seem like they want to get a little bit of aggression going through and space gained early, and it will be full gas, no brakes over towards the A site. And there, yeah, you see it, Shiva is going to be removed quickly. Realize second to go down, and no donut control. The smoke is going to be blocking up this player. The MP9 is going to be able to walk through, but Vita's not going to be led astray from that one, nor surprised that somebody is going to be there. And one by one, Easy Money Snipers looking to give up a 7th round to RGW.
Yep, and they don't really have a choice at it. Mike was going to die either way. There was a flank coming through anyway. And Maizu will find the final kill and will send us into the final round of the half, up 3 rounds on the RGW side. This is a very odd position again for Easy Money Snipers. They again at least have their namesake. They have the sniper, but the problem is they don't have a whole lot past that, at least on the back end. There's not a single kit, only 2 players have head armor. Granted, they are against AK, so it may not matter, but still an important factor really gauging how good their economy is. And you're looking at Easy Money Snipers, and they're not finding any sustainability in the round. They're giving up mid control too easily early on. They can't control as much of B because they don't have the utility to do so more often than not. And A control has been given over just because there's only been a single player there. They can't afford to send anything more than that.
And not only that, I mean, you can put a lot over towards Dodds, who's just been entering flawlessly onto a lot of these sites. Always good for 1, maybe even 2. And when you have that energy behind your entry fraggers, it's hard sometimes to slow down a team like RGW. And look at that nade perfectly all the way deep in the back of B. Bomb is down, so nothing is confirmed. But as these players just continue to fall, suddenly some lanes open up, and Mizu's found his way all the way into Temple. Realize has no clue what's about to happen. Realize doesn't even hear this at all. Mizu should be able to get this AWP. Oh, the knife in the back takes the sniper out of that position. And Joker, a second one, leaving 1 player last alive. It's going to be Mike on 10 HP. And a possibility to win things out. But they know, they hear the noise through the middle of the map. Everybody's going to be watching for Mike. And Mizu King is going to put that away for an 8-4 half.
That is a massive end of the half for a very important first half of your own map pick as well. Key side of Ancient is not easy by any means. Nobody is saying it is. But the fact of the matter is, they looked so good on that T side to close things out. We will switch sides. CT side now for RGW. But the pure fact that they improved after the pistol round loss, conversion round loss, and bonus round denial loss, they could not find their footing early. And yet they walk away with every single round remaining in the half except for 1. And you know why they gave that up? Because they wanted to avoid the 9-3 curse. Just thinking ahead.
Yeah, it's just, we're always 1 step ahead when it's the RGW. They want to make sure that there's no possibility for Easy Money Snipers to have even a mental idea back into it. So when we said for the Ancient being their map pick, they were going to have some strategy going into this one. And for a double cage stack, the Crossfire realized has to check 1, and the other one should be able to confirm the kill. They get ripped to shreds by the dualies and the USPs of RGW. What a way to start the second half.
You know, conventionally, USPs close range are less than ideal compared to Glocks. However, when there's like 7 of them, then it becomes a little bit more of an important factor. And the fact that everybody was hitting their headshots when they needed to. Nice combined swing, good coordination. They were just in sync, not to be confused with Justin Timberlake and company. But they were good nonetheless. And RGW, looking at how cleanly they closed that one out, second half pistol round victory that they did not have in the first. They have some momentum to work around as well. Easy Money Snipers have eagles, not snipers.
And only 1 member here to stop this push towards A. You will have a late resurgence back into Donut, but everything really is going to be down to Joker to see how much damage you can really soften up these players. And you will be able to only get the 1, but players falling elsewhere. Realize they're going to land a headshot over to Mizu. Dodds and the cross towards CT. Going to be able to shoot Mike in the back of the head. Saucery back onto site to help out the team. And the dualies put away double-digit rounds now for RGW. TTL, this is just a masterclass on Ancient from this team. Even when you look at the scoreboard, nobody really stands out to me on RGW above the rest.
That's the best thing. I'm going to say that. When a team has nobody standing out above the rest in a game that they are winning, that is the best thing about the team. The consistency. And the fact that is the case here is just an ode to joy for RGW. Something that should be
no hesitation. At all.
They're just all down mid. But all of Easy Money is in A. What the heck is going on both sides?
The tables can turn pretty quick here. if you realize this, smoke over towards Donut. Gonna force RGW to make some noise, but P1 dry peeks it, loses their noggin. Nice shot there from Mizu with that FAMAS. That's going to allow RGW right back into this one with the bomb not going down just yet. Easy Money Sniper is a little bit stuck. And already players trapping them on towards this site. They're going to have to shoot their way out of this one. Peek out yet again from Saucery. Traded by Shiva this time. Mike's going to even this one up into a 3 versus 3. But RGW still with these MP9s looking to bring this back. M4 recovered on one member. Dodds a second one. Joker a third. And they do it just like that. Even with the MP9 of Vita picking up a kill towards the end for just a little bit extra money.
I gotta say, RGW playing on that side about as cleanly as you could have hoped for them, considering they were playing an off-site bit of pressure. I like the call for them there. Do not play directly on site. Do not play directly around any direct entry points. Instead, play for a later part of the round. Play for a more disengaged retake later on, and it works. Easy Money Snipers don't diversify anything about their take. They send 5 players through a main, which is not a bad thing, all things considered. But when you don't extend into different parts of that site immediately thereafter, you just lead yourself to be crossfired to death, and that's exactly what happens here. And there's another situation of what is different for this T side. Volumetric exposed, pretty, but not great fighting. Valiant effort, but you are exposed more than you are going to find kills there. Joker walking straight through mid though. It's Mizu finding a kill. Does he find a second? This may be a second kill. But hello?
They don't even
react.
With that smoke being down outside of caves though, it gives Shiva the idea of the possibility of somebody to walk out towards Catwalk, and I like that Easy Money Snipers are not giving anything up for free. They're making sure that they re-clear things and check them. Just they need to hit their shots to back it up. Realize on 18 HP. 2 versus 3 for the retake here for RGW. You do have a flank. Shiva's going to be fighting against this one. And nice shots for Shiva to win that out. And the backup from Realize to hold that off angle. Saucery walks right onto site without knowing. And Easy Money Snipers put their 5th on the board. They deny RGW Esports of map point on Ancient.
Just barely, though. At this point, you can see how difficult things have become for RGW. Losing that singular round has forced them onto just pistols. It is, what, 3 Deagles, a 5.7, and a USP with 2 sets of armor, one of them being head armor. It's not great. Not great in the slightest. And importantly enough, it seems like RGW are going to have to find either a miracle or a classic bit of Deagle play to walk away with this one. And one of their 3 Deagles has already been stripped away. Joker is sitting in this corner though. This could be a weird round. Oh, I don't know if Joker swings here.
Smoke goes down, and no, Joker's not gonna have a chance to swing. And Easy Money Snipers are already on site. Member House been lost now too. The cleanup should be fairly simple with the rest of the team. Bomb is down. AK recovered, and yeah, RGW, they want this AK for the next round to come. It is going to be a save from Saucery.
I don't think there's a whole lot you do here. This is just a patient play. Slow things down. Figure out what is going wrong. Take a pseudo-tac timeout. And reevaluate your CT side. This is a similar situation to what we saw for Easy Money Snipers, where the first 3 rounds or so of the half go your way, and after that you have to reevaluate what's going wrong. Because remember, Easy Money Snipers won rounds 1, 2, and 3, and for the remainder of the half they won a it was not good. However, there is still levels to improve here for RGW. Remember, they picked Ancient. They should be a little bit more practiced on their CT side, or on either side, to be completely honest with you. And they will be able to buy in this round. The question remains, how clean will the buy be? It doesn't look terrible, especially considering everybody on Easy Money Snipers will have an AK, so they're okay.
You an anime fan?
Every so often.
You a Naruto fan?
Not as much. Not really that I'm not a fan, I just haven't really watched it.
Well, yeah, it just wouldn't make sense what I was going to point out to you, so I'm just going to brush over that.
Pretend I understand. For all
Well,
the Naruto
it's
fans
just
who are
confusing to me that Saucery has a Madara Uchiha profile picture, but his name is Saucery when there's already a member in Naruto named Saucery.
Okay, that I understand.
So, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, everybody's a fan of Madara, so you can...
Even I know
Maybe.
what Madara is, and I don't watch Naruto. Oh, that's an angle. That should definitely be removed from the game. I don't think that exists. A hand of Vita is seen, and because of
That's all it
the
needs.
rest of their body is taken off. Body shots just mean about everything from the torso up. That's all you need with the AWP in hand. Looking for a second round through CT. The smoke goes up, though, and will completely prevent that line of sight. Not, however, towards the other side of elbow. How many players is here? How many players are occupying this position? That's the real question. Dawes is one of them and has won that fight, but it still is a 1v2 with the one lone player stuck on this B side, and they know they have a flank setup. This is an odd fight to take. Oh, and he misses the spray. Dawes almost had the 1v3 setup, but in the end, it's still Easy Money Snipers finding the round.
And it comes down to that opening that Realize did find, that small little angle onto the hands in caves. It just allows B1 to start entering onto site, and it seems like Easy Money Snipers are starting to get that comfort when it comes down to their explosive feel onto maps and how to execute onto Ancient. Guns are starting to heat up on Easy Money Sniper, and that just might be a late resurgence back in towards Ancient. Not to mention Shiva working that flank fairly well, keeping the attention all on him while the rest fight on site. So SMG, Max 10 on the hand of Mike's. Full rush down B. Dodd's going to be the first one to send it. Mizukin gets a second kill, and you need Mike to go big right now with this Max 10. Can you put away the round? First one's going to be secured. Players have already snuck through. Bomb is in control of RGW.
And they have AKs. That's the most important part of this. They've not only recovered the bomb, but they've recovered a very important shoulder plate on both sides. Not only from B main, but from the tunnel to C spawn as well. And they've retrieved AKs. One of those already stepping up for kill. Mike needs to reswing this one. And Max 10 will do so, but only into both AKs just the same. A 1v3 from the start of the round being in their full eco for RGW. And they have a more than likely shot of walking away with this round. And a very clean finish to it. But good Molotov usage. Will use it as a pseudo smoke, but he has no clue that the flank's already come through mid, only to win the fight anyway. He's got the bomb in an audible 1v2.
Audible 1v2. 2 flashbangs, no smoke, 8 HP.
Oh my god.
They're just going to be spraying it down. 40 seconds. If he cuts noise here, maybe could bait a rotation over towards A, but that's such a bold play to make. All you really need to do is feel for the 50-50, and you choose right if you're RGW. Nothing but the B site, and the aggression pays off. RGW are relentless.
I think there was a sound cue. Valiant effort from Joker, but I think there was a sound cue when they jumped into cave. That or they were seen because the remaining 2 players walked in front of the now dissipating Molotov and took advantage of that timing. That is a massive round for RGW to walk away with. If they lose that round, if they lose that clutch, not only is it demoralizing, but you're looking at only a 3 or 4 round lead that could be cut down significantly more. Good Molotov, good utility usage overall, but it will just force B1 back and force them to take about 30 damage, but nothing to write home about. It's still a massive problem for RGW. Look at their lack of knowledge and their lack of information. That's a fight you gotta win, Sauce. Oh no.
Remind gets 2?
No way.
Are you sure? RGW, who look untouchable sometimes, getting just picked to pieces. And AWP, backside, in Temple, has a chance to at least pick somebody through a main, but players are already on site. And Reminds could choose to get aggressive. Lurk over towards B is going to hear so much noise. Can relay that somebody's hitting his flank, but as Joker is going to hear that bomb get planted, everybody's watching for Temple. The AWP gets removed. That's a call to save these rifles for the next round.
To be honest, if I'm RGW here, I do not save the rifles. I'll explain. You look at the economy for Easy Money Snipers, we can see it, they cannot. If you do more than enough economic damage here, you force them into less utility for the next round, and most likely less overall armor/weaponry for the next round.
That's fair.
So, yes, you will give away your own utility, your own 2 weapons. Yeah, sure, you give those away. But you're not going to buy in the next round anyway. You don't have max loss bonus because you've just won, what, back-to-back rounds? You have more than attainable couple rounds on your own. And you don't have to give this free. Oh, and to make matters worse, Remind dies to the bomb. In Counter-Strike 2, the bomb explosivity is a little bit more important than it was in Global Offensive.
Is that, like, meant to be, too?
I think so. I don't think it's meant to be as much as it is. Like, people shouldn't be dying on Banana and Inferno when the bomb's playing today. But that's neither here nor there.
That's true.
I saw that yesterday on multiple occasions.
I've had that happen to me on multiple occasions, so it's crazy to think how big the bomb radius is now on this game, but I feel it's just one of many things that people need to readjust to with this new game. Aggression now towards A main. 3 members looking to once again recreate what they did in the past rounds, but as they do that, Easy Money Snipers are... Whoa, wait. Hello?
It's a 3v3.
Again. At least they're cleaning up their mistakes, but how do you snipe your own teammate?
And in the head, no less. That's got to be a great shot. But the problem is, you're still looking at a 2v3. This is more than obtainable. Oh, but I believe Dodge can see. He definitely has been now. The spray through the wall does about 50 damage. Nice spray. But again, no kill. And RGW, this is a 2v3 with 2 players on low HP. So, you know, this is a round in which I'd say, because reasonably you'd be able to buy in the next round. You're going to be back up to max loss bonus. I think at least one player will be able to drop over a rifle. You should be buying, but it still won't be great. If you don't get into a situation where you fully eco enough to fully buy, I don't know if you'll be able to win a round, because Easy Money Snipers are on the hunt back into this one. The lead's going to be down to 3.
Suddenly, you know, where you're RGW on your map pick, you know, switching over towards the CT side and looking untouchable, like an unbreakable wall, Easy Money Snipers have broken it. And I think after Ancient is finished, whether it's a win for RGW or an upset for Easy Money Snipers, this is not the way you wanted your map 1 to finish for your map pick.
Well, not done just yet, but that momentum that RGW Esports had earlier on in this first half, or second half, first part of the second half at least, is, we'll say gone, to say the very least. I want to know where that smoke goes. I think it goes bottom mid. I walk straight through though, like he's wasting absolutely no time getting in. We'll have some help from behind. Open kill already picked up. They want to grab Donut control here. That nade, it'll do so. Maizu dead. There's only one player left on the A side of the map. And he's dead.
Mike's going to take that one down, walking right through that smoke. And A site right for the taking. RGW get knocked down once more, and Easy Money Snipers have found double digits from a comeback that nobody saw coming. Unbelievable plays from Easy Money Snipers, and, you know, you just cannot go without saying that this whole team is starting to play like a well-oiled machine. Where we were saying RGW, nobody was standing out to me on that team. Same can be said for Easy Money Snipers. Vita here, maybe take a couple of these rifles away, hold on to this M4A1, do some economic damage here and there, but Easy Money Snipers, they're healthy as a horse, and they are racing to the finish line now to catch RGW and hopefully force an overtime. But yeah, Vita is making a lot of damage here and has an AK now, so not the worst finish that you could say.
This is where you save. Do not buy anything that does not keep you above $2,000 a person. Keep your single AK and keep it as a hero AK. Deagle, half armor is okay, but this is a situation where you cannot afford to overinvest into a round you do not have an arguable shot at. And they, at least as of right now, seem to understand that. Because Easy Money Snipers are going to be able to buy in the next round. No beating around the bush. If they lose this round, then a miracle has happened, and we don't have to worry about their economy anyway. But everybody's going to be able to buy or drop over a teammate at the bare minimum. But for Easy Money Snipers, they are just looking for some easy entries, looking for some openers, and playing together while doing so. They're basically employing a buddy system. Yeah, no kidding. And
Let's hold hands and walk onto site. Understandably so. I mean, RGW did not have the best buy, but man, the Easy Money Snipers look good. We talked about earlier in the Arena Esports tournament how it's a surprise sometimes seeing teams from the open bracket walk into the monthly finals and look so damn good. But you cannot take away from these open teams who didn't have a chance in the invitationals their skill and their possibility for an upset, because as we said going into wars today, a team like Easy Money Snipers are unknown. We don't know anything about them. RGW doesn't know anything about them, and fighting through the open bracket is a feat that not a lot of teams can accomplish. So, for RGW, who simply had to play one best of 3, Easy Money Snipers, they had to fight tooth and nail to get here. And they want that playoff spot.
Final round of regulation. Question still remains, will it be the final round of this first map of play? Op just casually walking in. Maizu, you can see playing an off angle, has only help from Donut at this point. And again, that's also being walked in on. This is an odd part of this round. Maizu finds an opening kill there in a great spot, and they won't! I thought he had a freebie onto Shiva, but Shiva readjusts and finds the opener. Remind a second onto Saucery. Down goes your Donut presence, and a retake already on. Overtime looking more than likely here, Bella.
RGW's been humbled on their map pick. And Vida through the smoke before it goes up, but realize he's going to be watching that just in case the right call is made. Overtime on the menu. Dodds last alive in a 1 versus 5, and the time is just not there. The kit's not there. The kill might be, 2 might be, but the third not to be. It's going to be overtime on Ancient. Easy Money Snipers, they fought their way back, and they're taking us the distance in map 1.
Realize is 29-14 through 24 rounds of play. A 2.07 KD. And not only that, but some consistency on that side as well. T-side start here, all things considered, for Easy Money Snipers. They looked a little bit better here than they did on their CT side, the 8-4 versus the 4-8. And, more importantly, when rifles were in their hands, they were winning. In a similar situation to RGW, they lost the first 3 rounds of the half, and then only lost 1 more round after that. They had a lot of good showings with rifles in pocket, and it looks like that's going to continue here, barring a miracle showing from the Donut player here on A. And I don't see any miracles happening, at least not in favor of RGW right now, especially with an off. No way he finds anyone 1. He won't even find 1. Goodbye.
Yeah, Jokers have been shut down so often on their CT side, and RGW just aren't able to get anything going. These shots are flawless from Easy Money Snipers, and this team has truly stepped up when it comes down to not just their playstyle, their teamwork, but their gun skill as well as that. And even at times, they're good for killing themselves. Shots in the back of the head from the AWP has been towards the teammates. They've looked so good. So, I mean, Easy Money Snipers, this team has impressed me in so many different ways, TTL, and now taking the lead back since those first 3 rounds that we saw at the start of Ancient. It's 13-12, but you would not have guessed the way that this map has gone.
Sprint through, again wasting no time, but this time they get caught out in doing so. Saucery played anti-flash and had a hell of a lot of help from Joker behind. Not only that, but now having the opening 2 kills of the round gives them so much more space to work with on the RGW Esports side. This is their first notable lead to a round in about 10 minutes. It's been like 6 rounds since they had a good showing and something to write home about, and oh my goodness, I believe he knows, yep, that Saucery is just a knower. That flash was good, just not good for somebody already looking in that general direction, and just like that, it's 1v4. It's been just 40 seconds.
And what did you know? They've done it. They've finally stopped Easy Money Snipers T-side. Albeit at the best possible time here in overtime. They take that mid control by force. They do so well at layering their utility, forcing Easy Money Snipers into some uncomfortable spots, and they don't even allow this AWP to go forward. Saucery's going to be getting the most eliminations of that round, and just off some brilliant plays through the middle of the map. Lovely to see RGW just working together to make sure that at least a portion of this map is not dominated by Easy Money Snipers, and luckily for them, they made the right call on where to go.
What's the call here? Final round of this first half of our first OT. Still more than just 1 could very well be required. It is best of 6. First to 16, just like it should be. Shout out Global Defensive. But Easy Money Snipers still have an attainable shot to this. They do still have a buy here, but less than ideal. Some of these players are having all the utility they may have wanted while getting a lot of it. I have been surprised from Easy Money Snipers, and honestly from RGW, how quickly their utility has been used. To the point where everybody on RGW had every piece of utility they could want, and yet they're down to 4 pieces total for the team in the first 40 seconds of the round.
That's what our Easy Money Snipers want to do. With having less of a buy going into this one, you take it slow, you draw out this utility, and you flash yourself back into mid flawlessly. And remind B1 helping out with that. Mizu blind as a bat, not able to fight against this one, but hello. A couple shots go the way of RGW. We're into a 3 versus 3. Realize takes down Vita, but the rotations are here. Mike in through Cave. Not going to expect a close corner for Dodge. Traded out once more. B1 not able to get the second one, and Realize now up once more. 3 HP for Saucery. The Deagle's going to remove him from that spot. Will he guess the push through Caves? Joker's already here with the AK. He checks it in the no-scope. The round goes to Easy Money Snipers, and Realize he's a monster with the op.
First-person shooters and timing. Name a more iconic duo. If Joker is 3 seconds earlier walking in there, he sees Realize looking the wrong way, he sees the round going his way, and this half goes in the favor of RGW. But not the case. We'll switch sides once more. Easy Money Snipers onto the CT side, which has been the arguably better half for these teams when they have full rifles, or when they don't have full rifles in hand. But maybe not the case here. You're looking at RGW and saying, this could be the situation they come back from. This could be 16-14. Could just be a 16-13 finish for Easy Money Snipers. Just a couple of nades, though.
Minimal damage onto RGW, but their T side was amazing. This side, they're going to burn alive.
Well, that's about it for Dodds. A 1v4 in just about 30 seconds or so. And not a round that even looked that close, to be completely honest with you. A lot of question marks towards RGW in this round. Why go in straight with Molotov? Why dedicate way too much utility when you don't have as much information to play off of as at least you probably want? More importantly, what was the call to keep going as soon as that Molotov was on the ground? 3 or 4 players all walked into the same crossfire of 3 separate players on Easy Money, and in the end, got nothing. I cannot understate how nothing they got.
I mean, could it be down to so many things? The frustration off of the comeback that Easy Money Snipers has brought themselves back into. A late call, some uncertainty on what to do, hesitation when it does happen. I mean, Easy Money Snipers, they made the flawless call of going over towards B and stacking that. That Molly couldn't have been in a better spot. And RGW just stumped on not knowing what to do. We're in the pass to their T side, and why I was so excited to see them go back onto their T side is that they were so good at poking and prodding and drawing out these players, and then the entry from Dodds was second to none. But ever since the resurgence of Easy Money Snipers, you can start to see how hesitant RGW has become.
Sometimes that hesitation can come back to bite you. Especially when realized, since I brought it up, when he was 29-14, he's now 39-15.
That's crazy.
Imagine having a 10-to-1 KD ratio in just 4 rounds. And 3 of them you've won. That's nuts, by the way. Cannot understand. And more importantly, the fact that he's doing it about as consistently as you could play. RGW, this is a win or go to Anubis, a map down round. And remember, they lost Anubis.
Yeah, it's win or lose your map pick kind of deal. And definitely not going to favor you if you do go over towards that. Anubis, Mizu's going to take down Remind through the middle of the map, but you do need somebody to start to shut down players like Realize, and possibly Mizu could be that player who's been known to lurk in the past. It does seem like we're heading back over towards A, and there is a double stack here. Realize going to be the first to go. Saucery, nice play shot to the wall with the help of Joker. It is going to be Shiva all alone with 1 HP in a dream to maybe find another kill, but it's not going to happen. Joker lands the shot through the wall yet again. And it should be RGW with their head above water for the moment.
And importantly, because Easy Money won the first round, they should be okay. I hate to continue bringing it up even in OT, but now, I mean, you have 1 player on $28.50, the other on $31.50. Yeah, 3 players are at like $7,000-8,000, so they should be able to drop over, especially considering they've been buying an op once or twice over, so they should be okay, and they will be. So nothing to be too concerned about. And both teams will have that full buy, just as intended, at least when the first 2 rounds go one way and the other. But this will be that deciding factor. Easy Money Snipers do not have the advantageous side. The CT side has been abysmal in full gun rounds, to the point where after the 3rd round of each half, the CT side won 2 total rounds. That's it. 2
Wow.
total rounds after the first 3 of each half.
So right now, Easy Money Sniper is trying to recreate this and rewrite history on Ancient. With that stat being known, though, RGW should be feeling good enough to play this one out and see if you can force yet another overtime here within this round. Slowly, Mizu walking towards Donut. Remind hasn't been cleared yet. And Remind could blow this whole thing up, TTL.
It seems like the bomb's rotating over. Look at the bottom of the map. The bomb is making its way over, and one player's been seen in Donut. This is about the time that player in Red Room starts to activate. With this smoke down, they may start to look the other way. They may start to worry about Remind on the flank, and one player's watching it. Here's that timing. Does it go their way? No. Saucery finds one. Needs to swing for the second, but will lose that second fight. The problem still is Mizu is waiting in Donut for that reswing, and he'll find the timing, and he'll find the kill as well. Headshot down to 5 HP, and a follow-up kill down the A site. They're swinging it. They're going for it, and Vital will find it as well. A 1v3, but one that already has Donut control. This is possible with a step up of B1, and he'll already find a kill. One player's on 5 HP. He's got a shot at this, but Dodds will shut him down. A second OT is required on Ancient.
Dodds was lurking that whole time, waiting for the player through mid to turn their back, and that got a little bit scary because you win out that fight. It's a Donut. You slowly slip back over towards A, and as mentioned prior, Mizu was down to 5 HP, so if you managed to get away from Dodds, take that site control, and kill Mizu without taking a lick of damage, that was definitely in the realm of possibility for Easy Money Snipers to win it out. But RGW head is fully over the water now. 15-15, we swap sides. We're back in towards this T side yet again for RGW. Remind, however, forces down mid and finds a kill onto Mizu, so this is going to have to be a mistake that is righted by RGW.
Already man down. Already a difficult position. Need to try and give yourself some space. Doesn't. And that just exposes the fact that you're trying to commit towards this A side. Doesn't seem like there has been all that much of a dedication, though, and it may not matter, though. B1 the up. 5v3 with a minute and change remaining. You've gotten some A side control. Joker just found a free kill. They were trying to boost onto tree, if you saw that on the map, but it's not gonna matter. Valiant effort for Easy Money Snipers to get that boost, but in the end, it's just a bait kill.
2 versus 4. 55 seconds. Bomb still in the hand of Saucery, but no real space to go with and no information on, where Easy Money Snipers has reconvened to. And Shiva has not given this one up at all, but the timing might be on the side of RGW for the moment. Player has fallen off of A back over towards mid, so Shiva is all alone. Over the box, Shiva's going to be able to spot that first kill. Going to be there. Second nice transfer from Shiva to deny that site hold. And Easy Money Snipers once again take back their lead.
Interesting notion for CS2 and how some of these spray transfer type plays can work is the tracers are a little bit more difficult to see / identify. So more often than not, if you are trying to get that spray transfer between multiple players, you don't have that same visual assistance. Finding that transfer, kind of like they just did, is significantly more difficult than it used to be. Smoke is mostly blocked. Realize is legging it down mid, but is taking about 30 damage in doing so. Still though, it is full mid control, minus the top side of Catwalk for the CT side, and Remind just walks in without fully clearing well, not having any control otherwise. RGW have been gifted a few kills, and it's already a 4v2.
That's the power of these players on RGW, just sometimes can make magic out of nothing. And the bomb is rotating over towards A while all of this noise is being made over at B. So no real information. That Joker has snuck into the spot. So free kill onto Shiva. Shot in the back. RGW should be tying this one up once more, barring a miraculous 1 versus 3 with the op. It's just fantastic individual fights out of these players, but P1's not going to go down without a little bit of noise made. Doolies to back this one up for the aggression. A Molotov and an HE. Will we get this one information to the player on towards Donut? Unknown where Mizu is, and as soon as they swing, they're going to catch B1 and look at the wrong way.
16-16, back at a dead even keel. This is like what normal OTs used to be, just it's our second overtime. I love trying to compare CS2 to CS2 sometimes, but you also see some of these teams' difference in comparisons, at least around their own types of play styles. Some concessions had to be made. Actually, you'll try and trade out for a lesser M4 and full utility will still be dedicated for it. If RGW make this 17-16, they have a better shot on their CT side. You're still looking at a situation where the T side has shown to be better and will most of the time go 2-1 in a game. It's swing forward. Mike is dusted. Mizu dead as well. This is a refrag situation where Michael sprays down 2 more from a distance. The AK prevalently ever so difficult to control, and yet he makes it look easy. Already a 3K on the round. On case if his teammate gives him the opportunity, or if he wins this fight, and he'll do neither. B1 is dead. Magically, it's a 2v2, and neither T player is near the bomb, which is in the bottom left corner of the map towards T spawn. Yeah. And Saucery should have heard the scope in Temple. He should have a free kill here if he finds the timing.
A lot of sound cues have gone misheard, so it doesn't seem like they've really been on the ball when it comes down to that. Luckily for the side of for RGW, Dodds finds the kill onto B1 over towards B, so Realize might be shot in the back and then scope in yet again, and no sound has been heard, but Realize is hearing everything. Elephants just trampling their way through B. AWP is going to make this one a 1 versus 1, and Realize there's so many opportunities to pick up rifles on the ground if you do need to, but the bomb heading back over to B.
This will be a full and dedicated post plant. Unfortunately, Realize has made the incorrect decision of thinking A is the finish, and somehow has found the timing onto not only dying, or not dying earlier, but finding a kill here. The smoke will be heard all the way through CT spawn, even though the op scoping in no longer is heard from a distance. I hate it, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And Saucery is fully repositioned. Throwing a smoke on the bomb completely masks any plan he would have had otherwise, and the fact that he hasn't made any noise gives him the freedom to move as he pleases. The problem is if he takes too long, there's a smoke on the bomb and a kit available. Here's the tap. Only a tap, though, and the problem is he will be seen first from Cave. There's a swing from Cave, but Realize just knows. And with a deagle, he'll hit the single shot required. Who needs a rifle when you have the 50 caliber sidearm and a lead into the second half of our second OT?
Who needs a rifle when you have 43 kills behind Realize? Nobody you'd rather have in a clutch scenario than this player with a kit. Realize had so much time to play for, and Saucery did not. Wow, what a game we have between these two, and it really is just behind Realize making so many clutch plays on the map for easy money snipers. The rest of RGW still constantly being, I guess, consistent together. Still nobody stepping up to be, you know, the sort of Realize of this team, but haven't needed that just yet. As they swap over to CT, they're looking to tie this up once more. Middle control for CT. T's looking to collapse onto this one. Vida and Mizu going to be able to trade out with each other to take down a 2-for-1 trade and control mid fully. They just don't have bomb. Bomb is still over towards the B site.
Oh, that misses the opening shot. That gives a way in here for easy money snipers. And yes, they have a man disadvantage, but that's a lot of real estate for them to work with that they wouldn't otherwise have. A very quick mid flank's going through, though. I believe that Mizu's been seen, and he will be. They may think Mizu is the only one there. They may not think that Cave is currently occupied, and this is a massive problem point that they don't clear Saucery. This is a massive return in a 2v2, and both players stacking up in the same general area for this attempted retake of the B site. The problem is, it's down to timing, and one that Realize will take full advantage of with the open hand. A 1 versus 2, which won't even have a chance at developing. Joker dispatched the B1 yet another, and easy money snipers with back-to-back map points to close out Ancient again.
And doing a fantastic job at resurging back into that one, layering their utility. I mean, the smokes to wait for B1 to walk on site, not giving up a free angle towards those ops back A, or sorry, back B. It's just perfect right now from easy money snipers, working together and clearing as one instead of 5 different individuals. So RGW starting to fall behind here by 2. Gonna have to show exactly what they're made of if they want to take their map pick. Still trailing behind Joker on the boost, and this could be dangerous.
Played, at least not recently. 1 kill found, but immediately faded. Realize goes 1 for 1, more than good enough. for the T side, but it is still a follow-up kill from Maizu. And they'll get proactive, only to still
good
die from
damage.
Shiva in the background. Yes, damage has been done, but still it's the AWP that has taken damage, so it's basically as good as full HP anyway. The question still remains, will they lose this first shot to Sorcery on the M4? And will they find the timing through Donut as well? A lot of questions for this easy money attack, and a forward play from Sorcery. He wants to be aggressive, and he will! 1 kill down, low HP, realize he'll fight a second! A 1v3 now to come, and Remind needs to win it to win the map, but we're headed to yet another final round of OT.
Sorcery drops a smoke and a molly to block off this bomb.
Wait.
But Remind hits the shot on Dodds and makes it a 1 versus 1. You got an HE, a molly, and an
No
AK,
way.
but Sorcery has the knowledge and the sights to make it happen. A lucky shot through the smoke finds the head of your opponent, and RGW stay alive. You gotta be kidding me, TTL. This is incredible.
And the fact that that round ends the way it does as well, RGW have to be kicking themselves for a couple different reasons. Number one, that's a momentum killer if you're winning a round like that and end up just barely walking away with a shot through smoke. The other reason, there's 2 MP9s in a final round of OT. The question is, how does timing work for Sorcery? Great flash, realize doesn't care. Well, fully blind and staring at the sun, will nail one through the scope. And Mike's getting aggressive. Will hit the jumping Vita, but will die just the same to the op of Joker. And finally, things will settle down.
Yeah, Vita tried to kickflip over Mike. Not able to happen. Remind's going to give up that advantage. 3 versus 3. Thought you could catch some timing through mid, but instead Mizu just locking it down. Shiva elsewhere going to find this shot into the back temple now. Full rush to take control of A. With a retake going to be down to 2 members of RGW. 2 flashes and an HE. Both with a kit though.
Reasonable. All in the first already landed. Second attempt onto the AK that re-swings, but Maizu will wait for reinforcements to arrive. And that reinforcement is an AK going through Temple, which has no utility dedicated towards it, just for Shiva to still win that same fight. The return from B1, he'll find one as well. 2 separate OTs required here on our first map of Ancient. And it's easy money snipers to walk away with the first map victory and a definitive lead as they head on to their own map selection.
Yeah, it wasn't, I'd say, one-sided affair when it comes down to Ancient. Easy money snipers, they struggled on their CT side at first. They move over to the T side, they find themselves, they get comfortable, and the confidence started showing with each individual player. Realize stepped up in so many moments with this AWP and rifle when it came to clutching up rounds or even bringing back some disadvantages when it was RGW leading at the start of some of those rounds. We head into overtime, TTL, and Easy Money Snipers redefined the way they played on CT, toying with RGW at times, baiting them into so many scenarios, playing off of each other's contact, and playing some damn good Counter-Strike on Ancient. RGW start off losing their map pick on Ancient as they start to head over to the realm of Easy Money Snipers, with Anubis coming up next.
Anubis' second map, this is a terrible situation for RGW. They did not look good in Anubis back in their invitational qualifier. They did not have that same level of sustainability that we saw from them on Ancient just a few seconds ago. The problem also was they couldn't find that consistency on the CT side, and when you cannot find consistency, you won't consistently win a dang thing, much less series if you're looking for maps. And RGW, that is a massive map to walk away with a loss from. They needed that. I sincerely think this could end 2-0, because RGW did not look good on Anubis last time we saw him.
No, they didn't. But at the same time, it goes back to our conversation that we had at the start of the show, TTL, and the fact that RGW has had time to play this game a little bit more, play together as well, and they can go back and watch what went wrong back on Anubis. So the fact that they get to do it again and play Anubis against Easy Money Snipers now is a chance for them to show that this team can change, that they can make those improvements and hopefully start to take map picks off of their opponents. So heading into Anubis, albeit, you know, last time they didn't look good, I'd say this is a good chance for them to show what changes they've been making heading into the monthly finals, and I guess changes they need to make going into playoffs possibly.
You're also looking at a problem for RGW? What are the alterations that you have to make? Well, yes, there is a lot of information for easy snipers to pick up. You also have to remember there's a lot of information for you to recover as well. You can VOD review your own games. You can figure out what went wrong, what you can improve upon. And I feel like there was just a little bit missing from them back on Anubis the last time you saw them, about 10 days ago. But the thing you also have to remember, sometimes it just comes down to losing gunfights. Sometimes it comes down to having that control that they just couldn't find sustainable control of, especially towards mid. Hopefully that changes, because something has to after that first map of Fly.
Yeah, hopefully, for sure, with Anubis coming up next. I mean, I talking about how they weren't really put together, and it was very one-dimensional. I think Easy Money Snipers have a chance to really, I guess, take advantage and, you know, exploit that. Coming off of Ancient, one thing that I can say, that if you're heading into Anubis and you have Realize playing the way that he was, we're about to take a look at those highlights from Ancient as well and get to see almost, I guess, a show reel of Realize plays, if I'm expecting it, because it was undeniable a lot of the times with this op, and rifles too. I mean, he gets sniped here by Mizu. That was just one bump in the road, and what was Easy Money Snipers dominating some portions of Ancient. But I'm looking forward to seeing what this Easy Money Snipers team can put together on Anubis with the performances that they saw, although Realize was kind of a one-man army at times, TTL. It was still a whole team effort from Easy Money Snipers when it came to the utility, the way that they were executing on the sites, the patience that they had to play off of each other was setting up Realize for a lot of these moments. And I'm looking forward to them going to their map pick now.
Well, their map pick, it should go better for them on paper. But the question still remains, what is the change for RGW? What do they alter? I was going to bring this up again just because of how an impactful stat line it was. If you discount the first 3 rounds on each half, the CT side was 2 and 16. I'm going to say that again. The CT side, after pistol conversion and bonus round on each half, was 2 and 16, not counting overtime rounds, because they're less of a determining factor of how a map overall will go. That is a massively different alteration to Ancient than most teams are used to. Teams choose the CT side of Ancient for a damn good reason, because normally it's just objectively better. But in CS2, with the alterations to utility, with the alterations to some ways how guns work, how some specific guns work, and how the M4 is kind of invisible now, both the A1S and the A4, but you're looking at a completely different game than what is the stock standard situation for most teams to play. That goes to all of regulation, all of the first overtime, and all of the second overtime. That game ends in 36 rounds, and yet Easy Money Snipers are still only up 1-0. Doesn't mean anything more than a single map victory in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, you said that there's a good chance that this could be a 2-0, whether or not it's Easy Money Snipers finding it and RGW finding it off of Ancient. I think RGW, they had some good moments on this map. You know, they had some tough moments on this map, but you can really look into a couple of these players for RGW to step into a spot where they can showcase how good individually they are and how good as a team they are. Because there were some good moments coming out of Dodds when it came down to a lot of those entry moments. I'll say that if Mizu continues to find success off of these lurk plays that you see through mid, and the same goes for Joker, who tended to lurk over towards the opposite side of these site takes, it's might become a little bit readable, but for a map like Anubis, it leads to some moments where that can still be exploited for RGW, where they can find those timings with how, I'd say, open. I would say, actually, Anubis is not very open. It's just, you know, there's a lot of corners to tuck yourself into. There's a lot of places to check, and there's a lot of ways on Anubis you can find some odd timings. So if RGW continue to want to lurk the way that they were doing on the T side, and if they change up a few things on their CT side, there's still a chance for them here in the series. I don't want to count them out whatsoever, TTO.
And remember, Overpass is our third map. This is still more than a reasonable situation for them to pick up. They still have more than a leg in this race. They've already played Anubis this week, or in the last 10 days or so. So they have some experience on it. Maybe there are improvements. Maybe they learned something. Because remember, they still won that series. So arguably, you're playing up against a team that is better than you on Anubis in a series you did not pick Anubis and you lost it, understandably. Maybe you've prepped something different. Maybe you spent that 10 days before the monthly qualifier after that invitational ready for something to be brought your way, ready for Anubis to be picked once more, because they didn't ban it. Not banning Anubis, and I believe banning Inferno first, kind of surprising for them, or no, they banned Mirage first. But still leaving Anubis up after winning it, or after losing it, and not picking Mirage after winning it back last week. A little surprising.
Yeah, it's surprising for sure, but it might be strategic. Like I was saying, I mean, sometimes people can, I guess, play Mirage perfect one day, the next day it's just foreign to you at some times. So it really comes down to, I guess, what they're thinking inside the camp. I mean, you looked good back in that invitational. I went all 3 maps into the monthly finals, hoping for maybe a 2-0 win, hoping to win out here, but practice on a couple of these maps. This is just, I'd say, a defining moment for RGW, where going to Ancient might have been them trying to broaden their map pool and make it so that as you go into the playoffs and as you go in towards the grand finals, you're not just a one-trick pony when it comes down to going to Mirage all the time. That's going to be fairly easy for teams to, I guess, match up to you with how known that map is. But if they can lock down Ancient and make that a steady part of their arsenal and make improvements onto Anubis as well, that's going to be a dangerous team to have both of those maps in your arsenal. Not a lot of teams going into a tournament like this might be able to combat that.
And the other conversation, I think, especially for the CT side, is how different will Ancient be than Anubis to come? How much of a different conversation point will it be because of how, well, different the map is laid out? Yeah, mid looks somewhat similar, minus how the underpass works. It's still a different branch off. It's just not recoverable after that. Here are the stats. This is just wrong. I'm sorry. Realize had 40-something kills, not 4 kills.
Yeah.
But it is still a victory. I think everything else is correct. Realize just had like 45, 46 kills.
No, 100%. Realize definitely should be topping the scoreboard, should be topping the whole lobby with the performance that they put on. I think some players that you could highlight too from the side of Easy Money Snipers that were impressing me more often than not. I'm surprised that Mike was only 15 and 25 towards the end of that, because Mike was having some pretty important plays when it came down to a lot of their T side executes and a lot of their CT side shutdowns back in towards overtime. B1 was fantastic when it came down to that entry fragging. I think Dodds was the player that I was comparing him to during the game, and when you look one-to-one between Dodds and B1, almost similar stat lines when it comes down to it, and I think that's important for B1 to really feel comfortable when it comes to entering onto that side. He showed patience, he showed some nice aim, some nice chances for 2 pieces walking onto site, and both of these teams, when it really comes down to it, have mirrored playstyles. TTL, Shiva tended to flank quite often. Remind love to play for that mid control, and I think the only thing that you could say RGW was missing was that Realize, was that player to kind of stand out above the rest. I'm loving the consistency out of the team. No one player kind of falling behind. You can see Joker towards the end was getting shut down quite often with that AWP, but if Joker can come alive with that op, go one-to-one with Realize and start combating this sniper battle, that'll bring them right back in towards this game if they're going to perform like this.
A performance from a single player can be that pop-off potential. RGW did play consistently as a squad, but I said it earlier, when you're winning and your team's playing consistent, it's good. If you're losing and your team's playing consistent, maybe not so much. And when you have a single player pop-off, you have that potential to step up and have that individual pop-off potential take you to that next level, or in this case, to a map victory. 47 and 20. I cannot state how insane that one is.
That's crazy.
A game, by the way, that lasted, what, 42 rounds, if I've done my math right? No, 36 rounds. No,
you said 10 of those kills came in the course of like 3 rounds too.
It was so I brought up the fact that he was 29 and 14 at the end of regulation. By the time it was the end of, I think it was 15-13, so 4 rounds had gone by, he went 10 and 1 in that time.
Which is insane.
In overtime against full rifles on a consistent basis. That's nuts. Like,
And
eco
now
kills, sure, but yeah, wow.
Yeah. I mean, the eco kills still, I mean, in a game like CS2, I feel like eco kills have been, you know, still hit or miss a lot of the times. I mean, I've seen some pretty crazy things with the pistol since CS2 came out, but at the same time, I mean, when you look at, like, Realize playing like that, coming off of an overtime win on Ancient, beating RGW's map pick, in the camp of Easy Money Snipers, it's all smiles. They're laughing, having a great time, and they're probably just looking at Realize like, all right, buddy, do it again. Let's get another performance like that. 50 this time. Let's get 50 bomb this time on Anubis and show exactly what we're made of, because this is a team who didn't get to qualify for the Invitational, as we've been talking about. Easy Money Snipers fought through the open bracket, and now they are here to show everybody who they are and make sure that they remember who they are.
First fight's already going through, and it seems like fairly even thus far. RGW will start on the CT side, as it is not their map selection. They got to choose the side of their starting. It seems like that hasn't gone as well thus far. Sauce Arena 1 versus 3 has already slipped the gap, though. We'll find B1 with the bomb, but misses the shots required. B1 is so low, so very low, but will still win the fight with a P250. Easy Money Snipers get away with highway robbery in our pistol round. And magically enough, it is them to walk away with a lead as well.
It is starting off on the right foot after winning out on Ancient. You win round 1 on Anubis. T-side already forced up to Galil, Mac-10, and AKs. They are not at all giving up anything. They want to continue to stay strong here, and with this AK buy, they're just hoping that they can strong arm their way onto sites, it seems.
They're walking onto the wrong site, that's the problem. There's a stack set up here. Now you may have absolutely no idea. B is very much occupied. One player sees Maizu with one. Oh, and right is the second. That may very well be it on the round. Seeing a second player there should ring the alarm bells that B site was overly occupied, and you should be running elsewhere. 2 players tucked into this corner. Molotov has gone the wrong way. This stack could work, but how effective will it be? Weaponry, they've already found one.
Yeah, and the AK is going to tuck that one away. 2 kills with the Mac-10 that you brought into the round. The only Mac-10 that you brought into that round if you're Easy Money Snipers. So 2 rounds to go your way to start off Anubis. And now heading into the rifle round of RGW, you have full utility on 4 of your AKs and a strong buy even on your last player who lost that Mac-10 because of those kills that you got.
4 players flexing over towards A early on, and mid control just being established to hinder what could be a top-down take of mid. At least the percent of it. What are we calling? Are we calling it like bridge and water?
Water and bridge, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I want to make sure, because I just say mid generally, and sometimes I'm talking
Top,
about
mid,
something.
bottom. It's hard because there's a lot of
There's like,
a lot of parts to Anubis's mid interior and exterior.
like this is connector, but it could also be considered like top water. This, I mean, like on paper callouts are never going to be strictly followed, right? At least not most of the time. Also, Remind just walks straight through bridge and into the back of mid just to be caught out by Joker with the off. I'm going to try and stop beating the dead horse. Yeah, they can see. Goodbye, Maizu. That may very well be the site. Oh no, Joker's found a second though. This is possible.
That's what I said. You look to Joker to make these shutdown plays and realize being taken off the menu means that RGW are going to have a lot easier of a time handling with this site take. The rotations are already here. Joker's getting aggressive with the op. The glass cannon wants to get bold here. I'm loving it. It's whipping around. He's going to meet B1 head on, and he's going to hit that shot. Shiva here to trade Mike as well. Might look to upgrade over towards an AK. The flash doesn't know exactly where to look. Joker's going to get shut down, but Dodds is rest, and that AWP will be picked up in a couple AKs as well.
Really good preparation as well from RGW. Even if Dodds loses that fight, there's a flank coming through B main that hadn't made any noise until we saw them running. They were going to be there in more than enough time. They were going to be there for the readjustment as well. That was a very important fight for RGW to win. Not only because it solidifies the round, but it keeps some extra money on your side, which they don't have a whole lot to write home about. Off will be dropped over. It is, what, did I see double up? No, I didn't only see double up, but what, M4, AK, the boss, and MP9. Everybody has a different weapon, at least on the CT side.
Yeah. It is creative arsenal, I'd say, for RGW. but a chance to tie us up. And with this A presence from Easy Money, it might seem to be that they want to just stick together and strong arm one of these sites, bully their way in with full head armor. These AKs are going to pack quite a punch behind them. So RGW, albeit they won that last round, but they still have their work cut out for them. You do have an HE here for Dodds, but I'm not expecting this. No sound cues to be made. Only, I think, a flash there onto Vita, so that FAMAS gonna have to be right down to the gun skill. And Dodds, are you ready for this rotation for the third member here? It's gonna be a 5-on-3 for the site. Sprayed down by the M4s, and the FAMAS vots them to alongside Dodds. With a nail in the coffin, it is Joker and the AWP to win it out and tie us back up. Only losing that one member. Not too shabby from RGW Esports to find their way back right away on Anubis. No thoughts in the back of the head other than the fact that they want to take Easy Money Snipers map pick away from them. So healthy buy for the rest of RGW off of that win. Easy Money Snipers down to Tech 9s, pistols, and a deagle in the hands of one member. And that aggression is not going to stop here whatsoever. They're rushing right down mid. With that, Realize going to be able to take down Joker, but RGW should be able to react to this fairly easily.
The problem is they've given over an AWP in the process. This now becomes a little bit more likely a win if you play around that glass cannon, because it has now been developed as a glass cannon and handed over. But the problem is, where does Easy Money go from here? You could obviously just try and push it straight through the back of mid, over towards CT, and try and take A or B from that split. You could try and disengage and drop down, go A or B from there, or you could try and disengage and go back towards your own spawn, but it's not going to matter. Any of those options are terrible decisions, to say the very least. Vita will have that flank and find the kill, and just like that is RGW just swarming the three players, one of them only having an off, and they all get quickly dispatched up.
Yeah, Dodds picks door number, or door C or F or whatever step you want to take there, and he just dry peeks the op and wins it too. So that glass cannon, I mean, that aim punch is not going to feel good when you're trying to fight up against that, but the glass cannons aren't going to stop here. It looks like they want to take another shot at it with picking up that AWP behind a Galil and 3 AKs with only full utility on that Galil player, but it seems like it's going to pay off for the kill right away. B1 turns it around into a double kill, so this A site is thinning out.
So is B. This is an odd position, especially now, because you want to try and switch it up. Obviously, Saucery could drop down, try and play the element of surprise onto Realize. They have slipped a gap over towards the A side as well, but I don't think this round's going to even try to go RGW's way. Yeah, they're collecting themselves over towards the back corner of A spawn, or T spawn. And yeah, that's it. Bomb hasn't even been planted. What is Shiva doing? Okay, no, I thought Shiva had the bomb in their hand. I was like, what are they going for?
The thing is, I mean, with how much damage RGW has been taking in all of these rounds, their economy isn't even that good. They save these AKs. They should be able to drop some rifles over towards these players, but that's an if they save these AKs. There's plenty of time to hunt down these remaining members. And they should be able to run into this last one. Shiva's going to get sidelined, but now that they know, they can set up for a collapse, do it together, but that op's going to go down, and Mizu can try to deny it. Oh, there was a chance there to maybe deny that AWP from getting picked up, and you did. What a big moment there from Mizu to take the op out of the hands of Realize.
Another question is, at least from the perspective of Easy Money Snipers, how do you play around this? I mean, it is still an economic boom, but it's a round victory to walk home with. RGW on the other side, they aren't in the greatest of positions, and MP9 especially with limited utility across the board, and they haven't been great with even full utility, much less limited utility.
Yeah.
Oh, Joker forward, flashed off the angle. The second one will be there as well. Molotov doesn't extend the right direction. He wants to try and find the timing, but we'll back straight into the Molotov, and he takes 100 damage to it. I can't believe he just had 100 damage to a Molotov. He just sat in the fire. You're not Metallica. You cannot go into the fire and the flames.
That's Dragon Force. Come on. Oh, Vita, though, looking to bring this one back. Lands the shots onto the second player, Mike, but with that, the spray does not fully connect. So 1 versus 2 for Hero Clutch out of RGW. Bomb is down, and Mike's going to have to go recover it. He will be able to. A lot of noise going to be made, and they have no idea this player is working the flank, but it seems like they do have an idea that he's working that one. They haven't seen him just yet.
Flank coming through. It's possible 1v1. Timing goes his way. Maizu finds the first. Bomb planted, however. I think he has seen the second. At least he has a general inkling of it. He's repositioned to the vertical angle, and that Y-axis comes and helps him out. And he will make sure the body stops twitching just before he goes for the defuse. No kit, so he didn't have as much time to be in as I think he may have wanted. But it is RGW escaping with the lead, and only narrowly another round victory.
Yeah, I don't know if it warrants the body shots. I'll say, you know, I'm a big fan of the body shots, but you gotta earn those sometimes. And this game has not been clean whatsoever. So bold for Mizu to bring in the body shots so early onto the map pick of Easy Money Snipers, just narrowly holding on to this lead. We'll be able to buy up into it with full utility, or at least mostly full utility, I'll say. FAMAS for Sorcery, and the MP9 also going to be here against limited utility for Easy Money Snipers, AKs and a MAC-10, all grouped up outside of B, where 3 members are crossed to see if they can shut it down.
Who's ready for the flash? Who's ready for the utility dump that will come through, albeit whatever utility is there? MAC-10, Galil, and 3 AKs on the other side of the smoke.
Open
They will wait a few seconds. They actually decide to wait for a second smoke to go through, but as soon as it moves, they will hold W. Straight through they will find. One found. Joker somehow escapes with a kill, though. And the up will sustain for only a single frag. And a Shiva, and realize what a shot from Shiva through that smoke. And just like that, that should be the save for RGW.
Sometimes it just hits differently when you're spraying through a smoke and that shot connects. I can't believe Joker managed to at least get that 1 kill. Insane reactions from him, and well-timed from Easy Money Snipers to play off of that second smoke and just boom onto sight, expecting to catch RGW off guard, and it's exactly what happened. That lead from the MAC-10 Remind does a good job at just softening up these players and getting the team in. So back onto the save for RGW. They're going to be back into a tie game as well. They're going to carry over this M4A1 as well as this AK with some utility too, but even off of this one, look at the rest of the team. It's got to be a force onto some pistols, maybe, if they deem it so. If not, just stick to these pistols, save it out, and play for the next round.
Still some sustainability, I have to say, at least for RGW. But it's a situation where they've had so many difficulties finding spots back into rounds where they don't find an opening duel. It seems like, what, just a general guess, but 70-75% opening kill to round victory ratio for these teams. And you have to be able to come back from something there. Also, you have to be able to hold down more diverse angles, like, I don't know, the underpass. I don't know what in the world that log angle is. Maizu wins the first fight, sets up Sorcery for the second, but cannot find that kill. And already you see the 2 rifles you brought into the round gone, and your sustainability probably implemented.
And they're gone into a non-recoverable situation. Dodds looks to make a hero play with the Deagle, and it seems like the rest of the team wants to make that hero play as well. They're going to try to recover these AKs, and it seems like Easy Money Sniper have not realized that just yet. AK is going to be picked up. No, the Galil is going to be picked up from Mike. Flashed out. It's the fake flash off the Galil. Picks up the AK. Vita brings it back into a 2 versus 2. No armor on Vita, so really just down to Joker to make this difference. Nade's going to open up that smoke, but it soon relays back down.
They have a kit. They're not going for it. What are they doing?
They have a kit, but yeah, they're so hesitant to get on towards the site. They don't want to lose these guns. They have a chance to win it out. They have a chance to fight for the 5th, and Realize is going to snuff that chance and douse the flame.
They hesitate. They disengage. They re-engage. They get out. They get back in, just to slowly walk in and individually swing the same player twice with no armor on one of their players and no extra utility that would have helped them get the defuse in. If they go for it right away, they take the 2v2 with still like 30 seconds on the bomb, it's a reasonable round. But the fact they took 20 seconds to make up their mind, I mean, not great to say the very least. Could have been much better, sure, but That's left a lot to be desired. A full pistol exit out the B main position. Shiva with 3 separate kills. Unarmored opponent, sure. Eco frags, yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's a full house of frags, as a matter of fact. Shiva will find 3, Remind with 2, and about as clean of an eco round as you'd like.
Lambs to the slaughter. That's what it is right there. It's just RGW, they said, okay, if we're going to lose this round, let's lose it fast. Let's just go next. Don't think about it whatsoever. And that's going to put RGW into a situation now where best case scenario, 6-6 at the half. If not, Easy Money Snipers are well on their way to another 8-4 half, which we saw repeats back on Ancient. So this T side continues to still reign dominant in this best of 3. Easy Money Snipers' confidence has yet to be shut down. And RGW struggling to really showcase anything good on the map. Joker here is going to find that first kill, but now they need to hold on to these numbers and hold this space. They don't want to give it up for free.
The up in hand, they finally have a full and definitive way of holding this side. But the problem is they've over-dedicated towards this side of the map. Because Easy Money Snipers have conditioned them to dedicate more towards that B side, they've left A severely under-defended. A single player here with no head armor, an M4, and only a smoke to their name. If this timing goes their way, if they find the timing onto the site, if they even find a kill here, much less just the timing to get in without any interference, they're in a great position. Shiva, in the meantime, has just passed by Joker, who hasn't made a lick of noise, and yeah, down goes Mizu. That's bad.
Yeah.
And
Mizu, Joker's dead. Sasori finally gets a kill with it up, but it's too late. 3 versus 3. They're going to go for this flash out, but B1's playing up ahead of it. And the aggression is warranted for sure for B1, who's been unstoppable at shutting down these sites. This has to be a save for RGW. Not looking for a 5-round end to the half at best. But what's it going to take at this point? Because they are getting read like a complete book.
They're being conditioned more than 2-1. It's bad. It's not looking good for RGW. I mean, naturally, there's still a lot that can be left up to interpretation. Nice timing for B1. I think he has heard the second player. Does he look for it? Oh, yes, he does, but he also dies. It's not going to matter. There's more than enough money for Easy Money Snipers. RGW strung, what, 3-4 straight rounds together and had very little money afterwards. Easy Money Snipers have just strung 5 in a row, and they have all the cash in the world at the end of the half. Cannot say the same for RGW, who are stuck on 4 FAMASs and an MP9 with not a kit to be seen.
No, it's got to be quick, it's got to be decisive, and it has to be dominant for RGW. Hoping for that 5th round for them to end this half, and looks like B1 does spot the MP9. It will be snuffed out. Trades for Sasori, but that's all you're going to get off these opening engagements. It's a 3-for-1 trade, heavily favoring Easy Money Snipers, who now look for their 8th round to finish off this half with 1 player left towards mid and 1 sitting in connector. Easy Money Snipers, they have this round in the bag.
At this point, it seems like they have the game in the bag. Their T-side's looking clean. Now, I will remind you once more, you being everybody, that the CT side in this series has been abysmal. On paper, apart from pistol conversion and bonus round, they have not looked good. Here's a little bit of a different conversation because Easy Money Snipers won that pistol round and they had some lead, but here, after that, it's just been dominance personified. There's a flank being set up through B main that has just been identified. Dodds finds 1, but unfortunately with their position known, doesn't seem like they'll find anything more than that. They will swing for a second, but they're in the middle of a firing line of AKs on the other side, Mikes of which will take away, and just like that, it's an 8-4 finish.
Yeah, and I will say, Easy Money Snipers, they just continue to impress, TTL. You cannot take away from them what they are doing here, taking double overtime on Ancient, the map pick away from RGW, heading into Anubis and looking this good on their T side. They're not making too many mistakes either on Anubis. I will say those 4 rounds were just, I'd say, RGW playing at their peak for this series, and the rest of it has just been Easy Money Snipers covering their tracks and checking off everything. And now can RGW mirror that on the T side of their own? The Glock for Dodds trying to entry on, shut down this rotation through water, but the Dualies of our mind gets a double kill, and here comes the Elephants back on. to trample over RGW.
Everybody's just gonna hold W at this point. Dualies will be taken care of. Joker actually finds 2. Make it 3. Oh my goodness, this is a post plant. More than reasonable. He needs to swing for the 4th, and he'll find that as well. Joker pulls a rabbit out of the hat. A miracle of divine intervention for RGW to escape with a pissed around victory. And somehow Joker will answer the call from the heavens above and walk away with that 13th round victory.
You needed that. At some point, somebody had to make a hero play. And I'm glad it's Joker who's needed on the front line of this AWP battle between Realize. Landing those shots with the Glocks. Everybody on Easy Money Sniper is kind of giving it to him. 1v1's constantly there, but even still with the Glock, it's not easy to hit those shots. So what do we get from RGW after that? It's 1 AK, 4 Galils, and this AK in the hand of Joker after that heroic finish to the last rounds. Opens up the next with a first blood, and Shiva's going to be swept under the rug as well.
I think that may be it. Look at it, what, a 2v5, Deagle and a USP. Not great to say the very least, and now a situation where if you look at it from Easy Money Sniper's position, what's gone wrong?
Hello.
Peekaboo. Realized tried to play the smoke criminal. Turns out he was just shot while trying to do so. And flawless 2nd round victory. And nobody even brought an SMG, so it'll be full rifles into the bonus round against Easy Money Snipers, probably rifles plus a FAMAS or 2. And they're calling an understandable timeout.
Yeah, what happened back on pistol round should not have happened, and Easy Money Sniper's like, all right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. With those 2 rounds, we've been known to see at least maybe a 3rd, and then it's the rifles to start, but it does seem like this is going to be a tech pause for Easy Money Snipers as one player has it disconnected. But this gives them time to, I guess, come back to earth, because Easy Money Snipers has transcended this series from what we've been seeing. It has been nothing but dominance from their side for Anubis at that. RGW have finally broken that going into this next round off of Joker's heroics. So I feel like ball is in the court of RGW right now, TTL, on expanding off of this one, because although they do have the rifles going into this one, unlike Easy Money Snipers round 3 back on their T side, it's not 4 AKs, it's 4 Galils that they do have. So they have the utility, but are they able to really put these Galils to full use?
So, what's the reevaluation? We'll have to wait a few minutes to find out, unfortunately enough. I believe a tech pause has now been called after a tactical timeout made by the Easy Money Snipers. Speaking of snipers, by the way, Glass Cannon at least being hesitantly purchased for the time being. This would be reasonable, and I honestly don't hate it. The problem is they have no utility behind it. They don't have a kit, and they're playing around FAMASs plus the lone M4.
That's bold. But they, I mean, I guess warranted. I mean, they have been playing really well. Realize has been known to clutch up even with this Glass Cannon, so power to them if it works out. But I will say, RGW is not a team that you want to take lightly. Even though you are in the lead, it can fall apart quickly.
Here's that aggression. AWP already stepping out into the open, or the underpass, or water, or the bottom of the mid, slash the underpass, slash, 94 different callouts for it. And it finds an opening kill. Thank God I had to stop talking about it. Joker's dead. Could be worse for RGW, but that was your only AK. Should be recoverable, but that takes time and utility you may not have. And oh my goodness, speaking of time, talk about timing. Mikey swings for 1, finds a headshot onto the second, looking for both kills. He'll find that with a FAMAS. And blink and you miss it, 30 seconds, 40 seconds gone. It's a 5v2 with 2 Galils on the board.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, I talked about Mike at the end of Ancient, lowest on the leaderboard for Easy Money Snipers, but each kill that I saw Mike get was impactful in ways that you just could not even imagine. And right there, denying that A-site take, denying that bombs to go down, and a swing in the pendulum of momentum is absolutely huge. And Mike's gonna get a 3rd one for the round 2, shutting down Vika through a main. That's gonna leave last up to Dodds, who has only a Galil and a 1 versus 3. And will have to walk in against this sniper. M4 is going to be picked up off the ground. Smoke's going to go down. Double smoke in front of him. Dodge just trying to give him some space to work with. Away from this AWP. With 24 seconds, I do not blame him for taking this chance. Everybody's going to be here, though, for easy money snipers. And, yeah, they need this M4 in the next round.
Well, it is the round for easy money snipers, and one that it will not be fully attempted by Dodds. Can't really blame him. Get your 2 kills, escape with an M4, make it a somewhat reasonable follow-up round. Because RGW have won the last 2 rounds back-to-back, they will only have minimum loss bonus, which is about $1,400 a player. They did not get a bomb plant. They didn't get any more kills than the 2 found by the M4 wielder. So in total, they walk away with $600 more than they would as bare minimum. Could be worse, but not by much.
Yeah. Definitely could be worse, for sure. 3-round gap. Here TTL on Anubis. I will say RGW, although we're talking about them and how bad their Anubis looked last time we saw them here. Changes have been made, but B1, what incredible timing there to play off of that HE. Opens up that smoke and just barely spots that player on the other side. That is incredible. That is only something you'd see in CS2 now.
That unique level of play, that unique addition, and sometimes that new addition that is all it takes to separate, well, who's been practicing and who may not have had that same time to do so. At this point, you can see the difference it makes. Finding that 1 kill forces such a slowdown from RGW, and, notably enough, they have less utility to work around. They don't know what they want to do right now. It seems like A is going to be the final call, but there's, what, 4 players within 15 meters of the A site? They have a very quick rotation if they need it.
If they need it, but here's the gatekeeper, Mike. And the Galil, Mike is spotted. Molly's going to be thrown down. That's going to soften up these players for the Galil, but it doesn't matter. Saucery beats it out. 32 HP now on site. 4 versus 4. Smoke now. Remind just in front of it. He's going to be spotted out and backed up. 30 seconds to start this retake. Where is it going to start from? It seems like they just want to pour in all from mid. 1 player trying to work this flank.
Only 1, though. That's the main problem. Should be a second smoke. That's actually a flash that goes through. The smoke will dissipate in the next few seconds as well. Remind may very well find the timing, and that flank has been dispatched of. It'll be 3 players all walking from that same point of ingress. 1 kill found. Spray transfer. It's B1 to actually find that follow-up. 1 on the backside of the site playing around the center island. The second towards main. Perfect flash. Joker can't see a dang thing. And Vita quickly dispatched of just the same. Easy money snipers in style on a retake will find double digits.
Stylish, and wow. Not missing a beat whatsoever. I thought Remind hit that spray transfer on the second kill, but that's some heads-up awareness from B1 to be there to back him up. Some trust behind easy money snipers to make that happen. And a flash deep in towards the back. They picked apart RGW side by side, 1 by 1. That is a heartbreaker if you're an RGW fan for sure, TTL. And that's going to break not only hearts of their fans, but the economy of these players down to Tech-9s and Deagles. 3 portions of utility stacked onto 1 member, Vita. And it seems like they want to take this utility, take these pistols over towards B, but already Dots has been snuffed out, and that bomb nowhere close to the hands of these players.
I think if RGW lose, not this round, but the following round, this game's over. You're looking at, what, a 12-6 most likely? I think this round, we can safely say it's mostly dispatched of. Bar any miracles, now it's not going to happen. B1 and Shiva both find a headshot. Everybody was looking in this general direction. There were 3 separate people to find a kill in the same doorway in the same 4 seconds. And RGW needed Deagle 1v5 from Joker, who is a very good player and has already found the first kill, but I don't know if he'll be able to answer the call for divine intervention with a pistol in back-to-back attempts. No, no ace clutch for him.
No. I mean, what's it going to take for RGW to push us to overpass? Easy money snipers are now putting RGW in a similar scenario that we saw back on Ancient, but roles kind of reversed, I will say. No, actually, roles are literally exactly the same. And RGW still, I will say, has a chance at making this happen. But you need to start seeing some magic come out of these rifles, and Saucery's AWP finds absolutely nothing.
Call. Oh, Joker with the forward position there for Realize. Nails one of his own. 3v3 in the first 30 seconds of this round. And it seems like that's been the case of a lot of these rounds for RGW, especially on their T side, where they've gotten extremely aggressive in the earlier stages. Occasionally it works. In this case, it goes about even. And they're trying to pincer onto a site they don't have as much control of as one may very well think. Joker and Vita both pushing through connector. They have one player in B main that does not have an angle into Shiva, who's playing very far forward on that cubby position. And a Molly would be perfectly timed. Vita forced out to the open, will still win that fight though. Do they clear the back of the site? Not a dang chance. B1 will find that one almost a second through the smoke, but he'll have to stabilize and wait for... he's already gotten reinforcements.
Oh, he's already in here. Dodds beats it out. B1 gonna be beheaded. The Oppen realizes the first one. Joker right there for the trade. RGW continue to step up once again, looking to do exactly what Easy Money Snipers did back on Ancient, and they stay alive, keep their heads above water for now.
One round stabilized. And we're talking about the string of rounds that Easy Money Snipers put. This is a similar situation to what we saw from RGW back in our first half. Even with a few rounds strung together, they don't actually have all that much of an economical advantage, to the point where they have a player on a Deagle, a FAMAS, 2 M4s, and only one set of head armor, with the op still on the board. Yes, you still do have the op, and you still have a really good position for it as well. Realize is pushed down. This is a great spot, but it has been heard. There's a Tech 9 tucked in this corner. Can they clear it? Yes. Oh, no. It's a Mac 10 in the corner.
10.
And no. Realize has no clue the op is repositioned. This nade may very well kill him, though. It doesn't. Somebody doesn't find that kill.
They know. They have to know. And they do. Saucery's going to get the timing. Shoots him in the back of the head. Saucery gets 2 with the Mac 10. And they pave way over towards B. Get this bomb down. And RGW here to stay on Anubis. They're not giving up this 12th round without some blood being shed.
A lot of it. 4 players stay alive at the end of it. OT now becomes a conversation point, and Easy Money Snipers now need to collect themselves. Slow things down. Restabilize on the CT side, because it was $1,900 a player in that round. Not a single player can buy, because it'll only be about $2,400 a player. In this one, they'll escape with a max of $4,500 to $4,300 a person, bring just whoever yellow is. And you're looking at a situation that is completely different than what used to be stock standard.
Don't know USPs. W250. USP is at least going to get the first one, but Sauce right now going to mow them down with the AK. Vita puts this round away swiftly alongside his teammates. And a 9th round to count for RGW off the back of that. Starting to find their place in this map, I will say. You look across the board of the scoreboard for RGW, not the same as what we saw back on Ancient. I will say this is a little bit more to kind of mirror in opposites what we had on Ancient. You got RGW, Joker really stepping up for the team, but a couple members falling behind. Raising money, confident and comfortable across the board with the rest of them. Shiva almost gets caught in the op. That would have been such a huge pick to find if you're Joker, but smoke's gonna go out, a couple nades, Molotov. Shiva kept close on this angle.
But honestly, you're trading a lot of utility and favoring Easy Money Snipers while doing so. This is a situation that RGW cannot afford to continually trade for. They need to be able to find a way in. And it seems like as of right now, playing water is the good call for them. And just a patient play from Aizu, wants to try and play as quickly as they can, will swing connector and will find the opening kill. Turns the attention to Shiva, and he'll win that fight as well. A single-man wrecking crew. Will he clear the cubby? He will, but he'll still die in doing so, only to set up Saucery to find that same frag regardless. Just like that, one player walking in turns into a refrag potential for a 4v2 and a definitive save for Easy Money Snipers. We're going to see a 10th round for RGW and most likely an 11th off the back of it.
I will say, I was just talking about how a couple members falling behind. Mizu was one of those members on RGW who's been quiet on Anubis, where, you know, a lot of noise was made back on Ancient with the lurk potential that Mizu was bringing, that entry potential right alongside Dodds that we did get to see. And for Mizu to make plays like that with the AK dry squeaking into or dry peeking back in towards connector, finding that first kill and a second one, almost getting all 3 members on B site. That is a huge moment for RGW, who needs this confidence now to make this comeback and send us to overtime or overpass.
Or both. Overtime or overpass. Both of those now looking like a more than probable situation. 3 rounds left in this half, in regulation. The question is it in this map or in this series, or both? A lot of questions on the board and not a whole lot of answers for either of these teams. Easy Money Snipers, since guns have been picked up for RGW, have had some difficulties, as have basically both CT sides in this series as a whole. And more importantly, it's just been a question mark for RGW. Where have they been going? What has the call been for them more often than not? And the answer just hasn't been there, as Ryan out with a deagle and dead. That's the round. It's over. We're going to see a tied-up scoreline. AK just shuts it down, and it all will be saved over alongside a couple deagles. This is not great from Easy Money Snipers.
But again, I mean, you kind of expect this. This is exactly what we saw in our map number 1. The CT side hasn't been good for either one of these teams, whereas these T sides have been so clinical for these members. And B1 might be thinking about taking this AWP into the next round. It's got to go through 2 players to make it happen, and Mizu's not going to allow it. Good for another body shot there. They've made their comeback. They found their way back to Anubis, and now RGW has a chance to take their lead for the first time in forever on this map and do the funniest thing ever in this series.
2-round difference between us and sending straight to overpass. It'll be full rifles for both teams. It'll be nearly full utility for both as well, and a couple kits available for Easy Money Snipers. This has been the most likely round for them to win in the last 4 or 5 we've played. In RGW, they know it. They've slowed things down, but they still have gained that same level of control. One thing we've seen from them a few times is trying to play aggressive towards connector from the water, and Mizu has been caught out in doing so. Already an opening duel going Easy Money's way, and more importantly, that clears out basically all under control for RGW that they were mostly relying on. And there's an AUG for some reason. I don't know what's up with that.
It's been so long since I've seen an AUG. Yeah, really trying to bring out all the stops here. Easy Money Snipers. First kill has slowed down RGW, but again, I mean, you think about that utility is also starting to draw a little bit thin for both of these teams. Vita's going to be able to trade that out finally. Romine's going to be taken down, but there's still one more member in A. Mike, who has been the gatekeeper of this point. They haven't checked it. They haven't cleared it. Mike has a chance to blow this one up, and they still have not seen him. No information on this last player. Vita's going to get another kill. Bomb's going to get planted, but here he goes, Mike, to end it all. Vita says no. Let's still fight. 2 versus 2 as the bomb is going to get planted and a flank being worked on.
The options to cut off the rotations as well. The AUG will have some freedom to work with on this rotation and on the information gathering. There's a swing, but overzealous is Vita and cut off in their endeavor. And now B1 walking through will clear out so much information for their teammate, but it seems like their position is noted. Saucery looking in that general area, but is caught in the smoke. That gray screen ends up going their way. B1 has seen them. The information there. Both players now swarming this position, and the AWP is holding it down. B1 will hop on the defuse just to bait out Saucery into the prying eyes of the AWP. And Easy Money Snipers, a single round away from heading to the playoffs in January.
Yeah, RGW a little bit disconnected there, disoriented, and when they get that bomb down, I feel like Mike kind of sent them through the ringer and what pacing could be this retake from Easy Money Snipers, and they were a little lost in the sauce. No communication on what to do, no idea on where to go, and I think RGW just kind of get walked on because of that one. So they're going to be able to buy up AWP for AK's full utility, but this is their last chance to stay alive in this series.
AUG back on the board has a flawless conversion rate. I can't believe I'm saying that. I also casted a Counter-Strike collegiate game yesterday where the XMs were somewhat reasonable because of how they work with smokes. Because using buckshot through smokes creates a notable hole that gives you way too much information. That needs to be fixed, but that's neither here nor there. weird, to say the very least, is how some of this utility interaction can go. Mizu trying to play forward towards connector. Oh, the swing from Mikey, though. Goodbye, Joker. A massive part of this T side is gone, and the FAMAS is what shuts down the AWP. And he's got more information. There's a second player here, but does that bait over rotation? It does, and B1 just goes running for the hills.
No damage done just yet. Mikey able to live rent-free over towards this A site, but still somebody is trying to contend towards this. Lurking over towards A. So the rotation of the bomb is coming out. So much attention on B. And the A player gets shut down. Remind is here. They have to play for B. They have to make it happen. But Easy Money's just winning their duels one by one. RGW fall. And Easy Money Snipers from the open bracket, they're going to playoffs.
The Invitational Qualifier, they who won it just narrowly in their third map, can't even make it to a third map here in the monthly qualifier. Easy Money Snipers, they will be your one team from October, or September, depending on how it looks, to send themselves straight to the playoffs in January. They are just a few best of threes away from going to a LAN Grand Final. And they've already guaranteed themselves a hell of a lot of money in that playoffs, much less if they make it to the Grand Final in the end. A massive victory for them to walk away with. A massive win in 2-0 fashion, but it was not a definitive victory. 17-19 in 2 OTs back on Ancient, and a 13-11 win here on Anubis. That was a difference maker for Easy Money Snipers.
But for the first time that we see Easy Money Snipers TTL, I will say it was one thing. It was very fun to see this team come out and play against RGW Esports, and now we get to see more of them later on down the line for the playoffs. RGW Esports, it's not the end of the road for you. You will have some more chances, but the road just gets a little bit more harder down the line now for this team. Easy Money Snipers, they just have to kick up their feet, enjoy the show, and wait until playoffs in the future. So it's going to be fun to see how this team does evolve the next time we get to see them, and same goes for RGW Esports. I do want to give a big shout out to Arena Esports for putting this one on, powered by Etisalat, by EN, and 80 Gaming as our strategic partner. None of this would be possible with them. Time to Light. What a game we get from that. Overtime, double overtime, and then an Anubis banger from both of these teams. Can't be disappointed from what we saw.
No, I am actually really happy with the showing for both teams. I'm a little disappointed for RGW, not from like a unbiased third party, oh, I really wanted them to win, but they had so many signs of life that you're looking at that from their perspective, and they should have won Anubis back in the Invitational Qualifier. They probably should have won Anubis here because they were building that comeback just for Easy Money Snipers as soon as it went 11-11 to go, oh yeah, we should probably win in regulation this time, right? And then they do so. I was a little surprised to see, as close as Ancient was, how definitive it ended in that second OT. But I gotta say, I am really happy with both of these matches. I saw both maps go as close as they could have. Both of them extended into all of regulation or even a double OT, which I rarely get to see sometimes. And even that, it was close. The total round difference in a 2-0 game was 4. That was great.
That's ridiculous to even think. You know, this game was anything like but boring to watch, and from a viewer's perspective, that's great. For Easy Money Snipers, you know, you might not be feeling the most confident going in towards these playoffs, you know, with the performance that you had today, you know, as comfortable with how the maps have gone. They weren't very decisive in both ways, but for Easy Money Snipers, you got so much time to change that. RGW is the team that has to be worried with the performance that we saw today. Losing your map pick in overtime, having so many chances to put it away, not being able to clutch up certain rounds, just looked a little bit disconnected. Also back on Anubis with a lot of the post plans that we did have. The highlights are going to give away a lot that needs to be fixed for RGW for sure in our minds. But a lot of it just comes down to a lot of the decision making for RGW doesn't seem to be the most trustworthy and confident in their calls. A lot of hesitation being shown at time, even TTL. I don't know how you feel about these two teams and the performance that we saw, other than it just being fun. But there is some room for improvement for sure between both of them in the coming weeks.
I think the main improvement that we need to see from Easy Money Snipers is more consistency on their CT side. They are a playoff team now. They are the team making it to the top 4. they have an arguable shot of winning this event. More than that at this point. But the problem I will see from them is if they don't start to develop their T side on really Ancient or Anubis, because they seem like they're more than comfortable with playing either map, if it gets picked against them, and a team comes in with more of a, well, more definitive fight plan, then their CT side's just going to collapse. They couldn't find sustainability, they couldn't find any level of continuous play on that CT side until, well, the final 2 rounds came around. I was concerned because I was looking at that and saying, RGW, oh my goodness, they're on the T side. They have 4 or 5 rounds in a row, and they have a reasonable shot at sending this to either OT or Overpass. Both of those are significantly more likely than, well, Easy Money Snipers winning, and then Easy Money Snipers win. The other part was seeing an AUG. I don't know how I feel about it. I used to love the AUG and the Krieg. Very big fan. Are they
We
gonna
saw
make
it
a
for
return?
1 round.
It was 2. It was back-to-back rounds, and they found like 4 kills.
That's crazy.
All I'm saying. I mean, are we going to see a return to form for scoped weaponry? Are the COD guns going to come back alive?
I hope so. I loved seeing it. I mean, it was fantastic. I used to love watching Astralis use those AUGs all the time, back when their dynasty was running for quite a while. But at the same time, I hope that we just continue to see maps other than Inferno and Mirage too. I think it's great that we get Ancient and Anubis. Maybe next time we get Vertigo into the mix. Why not? Why not a Vertigo thrown into that one? Nuke. Love to see Nuke for a lot of these teams. But the fact that, you know, these 2 teams early on are already showcasing a potential larger map pool than the most is very exciting for the future of this tournament that we get to see. But heading into the highlights for Anubis, let's cover the tracks of a couple of these players and both of these teams, because RGW, they were fighting pretty well on their CT side. A little bit of troubles over towards T at first. It took them, you know, time to get comfortable. A lot of 1v1s, a lot of 1v2s kind of get thrown away by Dry Peaks. Clutch moments by Mike constantly over towards A. And I think that, you know, if you're RGW walking away from this series, from what we're going to be seeing, you can walk away with it knowing that it was winnable. And if you go back to it again, you probably have a chance to beat them in a rematch.
There's still more than enough qualifiers to come. It's entirely likely that RGW could be invited to yet another invitational qualifier. Or if they don't, they have a very good shot at making it through the open qualifiers. Because remember, Easy Money Snipers was the only team to make it through that open qualifiers, and they just went to double OT and all of regulation in back-to-back maps against our invitational qualifier winner. That was an amazing matchup. It was about as good as we could have hoped, minus a 3rd map, and honestly, I don't like Overpass, so I'm more than happy for this one to finish in 2. But
like
the fact that
Overpass?
I'm not a fan. I like playing it from time to time, but seeing it in like an esports setting, I want it to be replaced. If we're gonna find a new map to be added to the pool, if Cobblestone comes back, if
Let's get Cash back.
replace Overpass.
Look, there's 3 things that I want, TTL. I want old Cobblestone back. I want Cash to come back, and I want Train to come back. And, you know, maybe you can touch up a little bit of Train for sure.
I have an idea. We can have the best of both worlds. Overpass or Vertigo out, because a lot of people don't like those anymore. And you add all 3 of those and make it a 9-map pool. That's what Rainbow Six did. They liked a bunch of maps and were like, make it a 9-map pool. Best of 5s are now more reasonable. We have just a 12-round half now, so it becomes more feasible to play more best of 5s when they come to it. We may see majors pick that up, like Valorant has. I think a 9-map pool is reasonable because of how few rounds are now played, and I like seeing more variety, so it could mean more maps are played.
It's what we want, right?
That's all I'm saying.
It's all about what we want here.
Exactly.
For sure.
Who
And
cares
you get
about
the players saying that, we have to scrim 9 maps now, and it's going to take a very long time
get
for us
better.
to practice it and have that strat book. That's what you got coaches for, to hold that strat book.
Exactly.
You just sit there, you play the game, have a good time while you're doing it, and be the best. That is what a lot of these players are going to be looking to do for sure. I would love to, although I will say I don't want to see Cobblestone come back unless it's old Cobblestone. That is my take for sure. The rest of them, they can come back for sure. Why even take out a map at that point? Just put them all into it. But we're looking at our tournament roadmap here. We just got done with our monthly finals qualifier 1. RGW get knocked down after qualifying from the Invitational to reach this moment, to have that chance to go to the playoffs. but they are shut down in a 2-0 fashion by Easy Money Snipers. Coming out of the open qualifier, they fought tooth and nail to make it here, and they didn't stop after that. They're going to have a chance at that playoffs. They're going to have a chance at that grand finals, and they get to wait so long until they have that chance as well, because you look down the list, there's a second invitational, a third invitational, and a fourth invitational that we're going to be looking at TTL. So for Easy Money Snipers, they just made their tournament a whole lot simpler.
Yeah, and don't forget, we still have a lot of monthly qualifiers coming your way over the coming weeks as well. But that's going to do it for us on CS2. Come back here tomorrow for the English stream of Dota 2, or we still cover it in Arabic and Urdu if you don't have the greatest of English, or you just don't want to, well, I don't know, speak English for the foreseeable future. You could learn Arabic or Urdu via esports. I don't know. I had fun though, Colin. It was a great series, great best of 3 for the day, and about as close as it could have been without that third map on the board.
For sure. Well, that's going to be it from the two of us. Big shout out to Arena Esports for putting this one on, powered by Etisalat by EN, and AD Gaming as our strategic partner. Like Time to Light said, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. You don't want to miss it.
Let's do this, Abu Dhabi! Do this, Abu Dhabi!
On my clock, in this cop, mask on my face. Hesitate to give me some, I'ma catch a murder case. On my clock, in this cop, mask on my face. Hesitate to give me some, I'ma catch a murder case.
Dirty on the clock when I get guap. Whipping on the scene when I get clean. Wheel on the beat, on me, on a mean. That's it, on a mean. I take the key when I'm in, I take the key when I'm in. I get dirty on the clock when I get guap. Whipping on the scene when I get clean. Wheel on the beat, on me, on a mean. That's it, on a mean. I take the key when I'm in, I take the key when I'm in. I get
On my clock, in this cop, mask on my face. Hesitate to give me some, I'ma catch a murder case. On my clock, in this cop, mask on my face. Hesitate to give me some, I'ma catch a murder case.
Yeah, this for the players out there. Check out this dope shit, man.
Pay is coming down, we getting paid. Another day, another dollar living in the bay. Hustling for my Fetty, trying to pay in my escape. I ain't staying in the matrix, really trying to get my papers.
This for the players.
Pay is coming down, we getting paid. Another day, another dollar living in the bay. Hustling for my Fetty, trying to pay in my escape. I ain't staying in the matrix, really trying to get my papers.